in savings with the 2024 Summer Fun Card. Limited number available, so get yours now for just $99 at seizethedeal.com.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WIBX, its staff, management, or parent company, Town Square Media.
If we take the jail first, we'll have a place to lock up all the others. Then there's Keeler. He took over the bank as soon as the judge was murdered.
But I think that's because when you make tough decisions, you're left to deal with the repercussions.
But seriously, dear, I've done so many of these shows across the nation, helped so many people, and guided them to my website. And
look at this.
What is this, a joke program? I mean, what type of a program are you running here?
Here comes the ball.
Go.
Did you hear that hair?
Be hungry. First off, Fox Sports.
New York!
Morning radio personality Bill Keeler is no longer on the air. He was fired yesterday over a
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Bullwell in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning, Jim. Go to hell!
Free your mind.
Okay. Almost forgotten what this microphone sounds like. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, Davey. And here we go for Boilermaker Week. It's Boilermaker
Yes, it
Sunday
is.
Week. Pretty excited about that.
Very exciting.
And we'll all be out there in one way or another. Are you running this year?
I'm not,
You're not. Okay.
because it's just nobody wants that,
Nobody wants you to run.
including myself.
Well, but your mom is running, isn't she?
She's running the 5K.
Yeah. Okay.
And my stepfather, Pete, is running the full thing.
All right, and the Yankees. I'm glad to hear that we picked up exactly where we left off when.
And anybody that thought, oh, you're complaining that this is the Yankees. This is the Yankees the last 2 years, the last 3 years. You know, they have a strong start and then they have a total collapse and they never recover after the All-Star break. And if it continues and Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone stay in place, it'll keep repeating.
Okay.
It's very frustrating.
Well,
Bill.
the Mets are slugging away. They're back at 500. They're on a road trip. I think they're 5-3 on this, or 4-2 on this road trip, or something like that. I don't know what it is.
I would feel almost better being in your position, your being the Mets position at an even 500, but playing well, than being where we're at and continuing to see the record. The gap between wins and losses.
But you're still how many games over 500 right now?
18, I think.
Okay, only 18.
We're
All right,
3
good.
games out of the first place out of Baltimore, and we play Tampa Bay and Baltimore this week before the All-Star break.
Yuck.
So while I was away, the tragedy that occurred is just a horrific story that made, of course, national news. Just a tragic story all the way around, and we still continue to live this story in Utica. Did they ever reschedule the fireworks and all of that? That's not been rescheduled.
No, and
yet.
I don't know that that's going to be probably. They haven't confirmed anything, but I think we may see it closer to end of summer, Labor Day.
Yeah. I'll give you a little update on my situation. So you were off all week, starting the treatment, which I really didn't do until starting on Friday. Before that, it was all testing.
You were having to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I wonder if the right move. I'll have to ask Ricky Z. Was the right move to lease a vehicle? I don't know. I'm not quite sure.
You may have to just buy it now.
But
Get
it
it
is
out of the way.
it is the right vehicle. I do feel like we're flying back and forth to Buffalo. Anyway, so the medicine started on Friday, and it has been an interesting little bit of a roller coaster with this. However, the key to this whole thing is being able to take the medicine. So, I'm handling that, and it does come with some interesting side effects, all of which I haven't completely figured out as of yet. But it is what will save your life. And this is about 3,000 people a year come down with this type of leukemia. And there is a targeted medicine that is a chemotherapy treatment. But it's a targeted treatment, so it's unlike the chemotherapy that you take if you have the other type of leukemia, which basically goes in and eats up everything, and then you struggle to build yourself back up and hope that it has killed the cancer cells. This really targets the white blood. The overproduction of white blood cells, which become immature white blood cells, which are cancerous. And this will attack that and then shut it off, basically, shut off that switch that keeps overproducing. And it's something I'm going to take for the rest of my life.
It is incredible, the advancement. And you're on a
it is a trial.
Newer drug, right? So it's basically a newer, advanced version of the old one.
It is. And it is already approved by the FDA if 3 or 2 of the first line medicines don't work. The trial that I'm on is to prove that it is the best medicine. Maybe this should be given first as opposed to waiting to give this.
Oh, wow.
And it's supposed to have fewer side effects. I am glad I'm not taking the other one because this has plenty of side effects. But I'm certainly glad I'm not taking the other one. So we'll see where all of this goes. And I think the biggest thing is the fatigue.
Yeah, well, we're glad you're in that category of highly treatable.
It is not, well, it's not curable. And as long as you take the medicine, the biggest reason people don't do well with this cancer is because they don't like how they feel taking the medicine. That's why I think this trial that I'm on is so important. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you will, as long as you take the medicine, you have the same life expectancy as someone without cancer. That's pretty awesome. Miraculous.
Yeah, it is.
When you think about it. Okay, what do we do? Oh, my God, the Biden stuff is just getting worse and worse. He says, the Lord Almighty is going to have to come in and say, get out of the race.
Even then, he may not listen.
Joe, I need echo. Give me some reverb, can we?
Joe.
This is God, your Lord Almighty. Get out. What are you doing? That was a combination of God, a bad impression of God, and a bad impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Without reverb.
Just have James Earl Jones do it.
Maybe that would be it.
Get out of the race.
Yeah, that's
Joe.
it. God, you sound
Biden
just
like a good
him.
neighbor. Step out of the race.
Or Schwarzenegger. Speaking of the Boilermaker this week, Mark Donovan is on. We have a lot going on this week that we'll get into. Ryan Schmelz coming up in a little bit. We'll talk about this topic. And that is the stepping down of presidential candidate, President Joe Biden. But, it does surprise me. There's a lot of talk right now about the person, and I do believe he's going to, I don't know how he's getting out of bed every day, let alone running for president. But I do believe that he's going to be stepping out. And I got to tell you, at first, I didn't think there was any chance that Kamala Harris would be the one, but it does look like everybody's saying she's going to be the one. I mean, she is the vice president.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't know that helps Democrats' chances at all, but we'll see what happens.
We will see. On the line right now is Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Ryan, are you hearing the same thing? Kamala Harris seems to be the one name that was thrown around quite a lot over the weekend.
It does seem to be the obvious choice, yes, and good morning. And I think there are some aspects to that need to be talked about. Number one, there's some laws in there where there is money that has been given to the Biden campaign that if President Biden were to step down and Kamala Harris were to take over, then she would be able to inherit all of the fundraising money that Joe Biden has had, whereas it might be a little bit more difficult for somebody else to step in and be able to use that money because she's already on the ticket for President Biden.
Now, does that is that campaign? That's campaign rules, not presidential, because he won't be stepping down as president. He would just be stepping down as candidate Biden.
Yeah, yes, it's campaign rules. Correct,
okay,
yes.
It would be. I mean, it would be obviously, I think, unprecedented, but it would. I mean, you've got somebody that would be president, Joe Biden, that is not running anymore, but Kamala Harris essentially would be the candidate. So the dynamic there would just be very interesting.
Well, I'm not sure it's that. If you go back to, I mean, certainly, who here remembers the Johnson presidency and when he decided not to run? Right? I mean, it goes back to that. I don't think anybody here.
Well,
I was four.
What would be unique about this one would be that I believe Johnson and there's someone else who dropped out. I believe it was Truman heading into re-election where they I believe it was over 100 days before their convention. Whereas if President Biden were to leave, I mean, right now we're looking at 45 or so days until the DNC. So it would be the first time we've seen it happen this close to a convention.
Well, as Joe Biden says, each day feels like 2 days. So you got 90. I thought the interview with ABC that he did, the one to make everybody feel comfortable and be like, well, I think Joe Biden should be the candidate. That didn't do him any good. I don't believe. And then the other part where he said, in order to, yes, it was a bad performance. I'm not the debater that I used to be, and I've decided I'm not going to do any events after 9 o'clock anymore. I'm going to go to sleep.
God.
So I mean, this makes me nervous about a candidate, but it makes me more nervous about the person needing to go to bed by 9 p.m. as the president of the United States.
Don't attack our country until after 9 o'clock.
So your thoughts on that, Ryan?
Well, it is concerning whenever a president does say that, I think, for a lot of people, and that's why we're seeing the reaction that we are seeing. And, you're starting to see more and more Democrats come out and request President Biden to step aside and not be the nominee anymore. And, I think one of the big ones this weekend was Mark Warner, who's I believe, the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee. He's a senator from Virginia, someone who's been a Trump loyalist. Not Trump loyalist, Biden loyalist, really since President Biden has been on the political scene. And then you also have Adam Quigley, another big name there. And apparently, based off reporting we've seen, there was a call yesterday with House Democrats where some prominent New York Democrats like Jerry Nadler, who would be the highest ranking Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, as well as Joe Morrell, have all raised some type of concern when it comes to President Biden's fitness to be the nominee and his ability to beat former President Trump. So the calls are continuing to grow, and based off what we're hearing today, could be a big day for that too.
It could be. I think you have Joe Morelli, who is the congressman from the Rochester area. I also thought the Friday night interview, another statement that he made that was really bad, that didn't get the attention that I thought it was going to, is when Stephanopoulos asked him, how would you feel if you ran and lost to Donald Trump?
Yeah.
And Biden's answer was, well, it's all about me giving it my best shot. That's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. As long as I try hard. No, that's what a little leaguer is told. That is not that is not what Democrats want to hear from the current president.
If you go on one of his statements, he says, I will beat Donald Trump again in 2020.
Yeah, okay. Dear Lord.
Yeah. Well, and that was a statement I think was not handled well by Democrats, didn't go over all the Democrats, because what we've heard is that, you hear President Biden say all the time that if Donald Trump gets reelected, it's going to be a true threat to democracy. And you have Democrats who feel the exact same way. And so the idea of him giving it his all is just not good enough for them. They want somebody who can beat Donald Trump. And, I think that the thought, too, is that, if Joe Biden has a performance like he did at the debate, and now his polling against Donald Trump is, still a concern, and they don't know if it's going to get any better after that debate performance. The thought is, somebody else got a better chance of beating him.
Yeah,
and some believe that. And I believe there is a CNN poll that came out not long after the debate that shows Vice President Harris polling better against President Trump than President Biden does.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by that at this point.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, there are also there are some questions. I think this would have to happen fairly quickly as well for state election law reasons, right? There are a few actual swing states that it would be very hard to take his name off the ballot. I mean, I'm sure things can be done if the state legislatures respectively would allow it.
Well, let's not forget, we've not gotten to the convention as of yet. And it used to be presidential candidates were decided by at the convention. I mean, of course, it's not the way we're doing it these days. We're running for president about 2 years before the actual convention, but there is certainly time. It's unprecedented for these times, but there's time to do this, and I don't think they really have any choice at this point.
It would have to be ahead of the convention. I think that would make it legally and just transition-wise, and the feasibility, and also the fundraising, just a lot of the things that would make this a smooth transition process. It just makes sense that it would have to happen before the convention, because it's going to be a pain for them to do that if they do it afterwards.
Yeah. And don't you feel, Ryan, that his performance during the State of the Union, his speech ability is so much worse than it was during the State of the Union? That's just a few months. What will things be like in September and October?
Yeah, I think those are all things that people are concerned about. Certainly the White House has tried to, get around this and say that, his cold played into it. There are some other factors that hurt his ability to speak. And he's acknowledged that he had a bad debate performance. But, at the same time, I think there's just a big concern amongst Democrats that this is going to continue.
Yeah. All right, Ryan, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you. I know you'll keep an eye on things today. It could be a very important day. You never know.
Yes, it could. Right. We'll keep an eye on it. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Let me break, and we'll come back. Hold tight. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Feeling congested? At Navage, we know life is better when you can breathe freely. Congestion shouldn't ruin your summer. That's why people just like you turn to Navage, a revolutionary and easy way to help clear nasal passages. Using gentle suction, Navage removes allergens, dust, and mucus in just 30 seconds. It's fast, gentle, and incredibly effective. Try Navage and get on your way to a better day. Get Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, Sam's Club, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or online at Navage.com. Navage. Breathe better, fast.
You likely know all about our heating and cooling solutions at Fred F. Collis & Sons.
What you may not know is that this just scratches the surface of what Collis can do for your home and comfort.
Insulation, air sealing, indoor air quality, water heaters, generators.
And of course, heating and cooling.
No matter what you need, you can always count on Collis.
Count on Collis to help you stay cool and save energy this summer by scheduling your free home energy assessment. Visit fredfcollis.com.
Hello, Utica. This is Carrie Palaio, Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. I'm really excited to introduce more fantastic new businesses that have recently become a part of our thriving community. Here in Utica, we're not just growing, we are flourishing. Be sure to support our new businesses and our local economy.
Air City Cannabis, 17070 Oriskany Street West, Utica. Renegade Boxing, 310 Broad Street, Utica. Gold Mine 2, 4662 Commercial Drive, New Hartford.
Please join the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce in welcoming these new businesses. Here we grow again.
Your summer of fun starts with Amerique. Enjoy no payments for the first 90 days on new and used auto, motorcycle, boat, rec loans, and more. Wherever summer takes you, go further with Amerique. And 90 days with no payments. Offer expires July 31st. Apply today at amerique.org/no-pay. Application subject to credit approval. Automatic payments required. Interest begins accruing on date loan is open and will be amortized over the monthly payments. Membership eligibility required. Insured by NCUA.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. With Ramp, you get full visibility into your company's spending and control who spends what with each vendor. Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts instantly to save your team valuable time. Ramp automates data entry and routine tasks with automated approvals, expense categorization and bill payments, time-consuming tasks. Which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
All right. From the comments here this morning, what do you have?
Got Big Honey with a bold prediction here.
Okay.
Mark my words, Joe Biden will stay in the race and win in November, unfortunately.
I don't think so. I got to tell you, if he's in, I don't know what happens necessarily. Believe it or not, because most of I really believe that there are no I love Joe Bidens. I mean, you don't see Biden flags. You don't see Make America Biden Again hats.
Yeah.
But I believe the hatred of and whether it be hatred or fear of Trump is so strong that at the very least, with Biden there, it'll be close. I don't think. I think that for all those people that hate Kamala Harris and think that she's a weak candidate, if she's the candidate, they're just going to put up with that like they put up with Biden. That's just my take on the whole thing. I don't know where it goes. So how was your fireworks? Did you have a little fireworks display at your home? It's all legal, right? I mean, not all legal, but you had one.
Fully legal, yes.
And we had one that was nice. And the finale was that we created. You got to light multiple boxes in order to have
the cakes, as
the
they're
finale.
called.
But what a mess it creates!
Oh, yeah,
a mess everywhere. Oh, but no matter how
raining sulfur,
good or bad your fireworks display was, it had to be better than Danny Trejo's.
Oh,
Danny Trejo is the actor there. A lot of times plays a prisoner in prison or something.
Very typecast.
But a great actor, great guy. He got into a fight at a 4th of July parade after he and his friends got hit with water balloons. They jumped out of their lowrider, and it was on. Here's Danny and one of his buddies commenting on it after the fact. I think I'm going to be able to play this. If it doesn't play, I'll play it in a second. Let's give it a try. Here we go.
I'm so sad that I behaved the way I behaved. I'm so sad that grown men got to throw water balloons. I don't think I would have even got out of the car if somebody hadn't yelled, "It's acid." I immediately got out to look at the hood, and then when I got out of the car, I looked, boom, then a balloon hit me, and then I looked up and I see a guy. I don't know what in the hell is wrong with you. So when he grabbed me, I stepped back and I fell off the curb. I'm sad. Yeah. I'm just sad that there's still people like from the 50s and 60s that still feel the same way because no one else was targeted.
Come on, you got a classic lowrider in a parade. That's the last thing you want is to get water on it.
I would be embarrassed if I attacked an 80-year-old man and he's still talking and laughing.
Danny Trejo is 80 years old, I think.
He is?
Well, I don't know.
I can't believe
Maybe
that.
one of the guys with him was 80 years old. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, too.
Look it up.
What
See
are
how
you
old he
thinking?
is.
Throwing a water balloon. Have you seen this guy?
It's so stupid.
He is 80 years old.
Is he 80?
And he could still probably whoop somebody's you-know-what.
Nathan's Hot Dogs held their annual disgusting display of women and men stuffing soggy hot dogs into their buns and their buns in their mouths on 4th of July. Here's your new champion.
And the winner is Patrick Bertoletti. Chicago, Illinois.
It was all focused today, no mohawk, just hot water, and I wasn't going to stop eating until the job was done.
Oh my gosh.
Today is
Do you know that he did a contest somewhere else? Joey Chestnut beat soldiers at a Fort Bliss hot dog eating competition. I think that was a different one. But I think on the day of the Nathan's contest, he did 57 in 5 minutes. 57 hot dogs in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, these guys. And women do it as well. Here is Stefan Ribitzki. Hello, Stefan. Good morning.
Well, hello, Bill, Andrew, and Davey.
Good morning. Good morning, Stefan. Happy Boilermaker week.
Now, I was at the Utica 4th of July parade, and I was interviewed at the parade. I was near the Parkway. I was interviewed by WKTV.
Oh, nice.
Yes, they asked me why I was at the parade. I said for country and support for the community.
Sure, that's nice.
And I told them I'm a people's person. I love politics because they asked me how I know everyone, and it was a good time at the Utica 4th of July parade.
Who interviewed you, Stefan?
Luke Radel.
Oh, it was Luke. Okay.
He probably didn't know who Stefan was.
Yes, and also at the Utica Blue Sox game Friday night, I saw Joe Hobica, and he has a suggestion of what the jackpot should be.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
What? Because I think my mother will be off this week with Laundra Lottery.
Yeah, she deserves
going
a
to be
break.
off. Well, there's some reasons, but I think she's off this week. I think she's taking a little time. I think the fireworks displays were just
a little too much
intense. Yeah. So, what is Joe's suggestion, Stefan?
He says $50.
$50.
$50.
50. So 150.
Times are tough, I guess.
That's good.
150. Did you hear that?
All right. So it's 150, Stefan. Beautiful.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You're welcome. Stay cool out there.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. How about this weather? Has this weather just been unbelievable?
I absolutely
We have had the most beautiful stretch of weather, especially if you like it hot. It has been, and it's going to be today and tomorrow, and really the rest of the week looks pretty warm. At some point, things cool off just a little bit. 4th of July aftermath stories are rolling in like this one. A 41-year-old South Carolina moron was killed after igniting a large firework on top of his head at a 4th of July party on Thursday night.
After his wife repeatedly begged him not to.
Why would I think that alcohol played a role?
Because you would be right.
Yeah. Well, it killed him. Witnesses told investigators that Alan Ray McGrew was wearing a large top hat and put the firework on the top of the hat before lighting it. The device exploded, causing massive head injuries. Family members tried to get him to stop. His wife told first responders that she believed he placed the firework on his head to show off at the block party. And this is actual audio. I'm just saying, you're an idiot if you're doing this.
Yes.
Here's actual audio, I believe.
And now,
Hey, Rocky, see? No doubt about it. I gotta get another hat.
Yeah, that's just, I'm sorry for the insensitivity.
Well,
But
I mean,
if you're doing that, what is wrong with you? I got to tell you, I had one so we did our display on Friday night and not Thursday because I had to be in Buffalo at 8:45 on Friday morning. So I'm like, we're not going to have people at our house having food and enjoy and have to drive to Buffalo the next morning.
Yeah.
That would be terrible. So instead, we made the mistake of driving from Buffalo, got home just in time for people to start arriving. But it was, but I had one, explode, and it was supposed to shoot upwards, and it didn't, and it exploded.
So you may have had a similar situation.
You had one too.
You can chalk it up to the fact that where these are made, they probably quality control. China. The quality control isn't that great, and sometimes you have to follow your instincts on, well, if that's there, why is that sticker there? That doesn't seem like it's with the same with the other ones.
Sometimes there will be an arrow pointing up, but pointing the wrong way.
Yeah.
I found one of those and corrected
I found
it.
one too late.
Yeah. Let's see. Juveniles who couldn't wait until the 4th of July are suspected of using a firework to blow up a porta potty near a lake in Nebraska. It happened on Tuesday night.
Oh, my God.
Witnesses say they heard the explosion, and then the juveniles drove off in an SUV. Here's what it sounded like. Sounds an awful like, a lot like the Rocky and Bullwinkle, but with some additional sound effects there.
Yuck.
These are all, just so you know, these are all actual sound effects. I'm sorry, these are all actual sounds from the event.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't think so.
I cannot believe that firework on the head story. I mean, that's just...
It killed him.
What are you thinking?
And it just so happened to be one that exploded. So it was defective. So had it gone off, it would have, had it just launched, he probably would have been burned.
Yeah.
But would have been okay. But instead, really bad. Really bad. Wisconsin is the cheese capital of the world, but sometimes that comes with trouble. Here's a news report about what happened and how police handled it with a pun-filled press release.
Police in Eau Claire state they responded to the most Wisconsin complaint ever. On Monday night, officers checked out a report of someone chasing a driver down and throwing cheese at their car. Police called the complaint not Gouda, and it's unbelievable that someone would do that. The department ended the post by writing, "Throwing cheese is not your best look, Eau Claire." No, that's not cheesy at all.
Nacho.
Oh, gosh.
Nacho, best look. We're talking about the, what's his name? The actor with the lowrider and the parade.
Trejo.
Trejo turning 80 years old. That he's 80. Ringo Starr yesterday turned 84. And once again, wished everyone peace and love. Here's his message, along with a montage of some of his biggest tunes. Here we go.
Okay, here we are again. Are you ready? Peace and love! Yeah! Peace and love, everybody. Thanks for helping out. Love you. Bye.
Sing a song called Boys Swing Now!
I just have to say he sounds really good at 84.
Yeah.
Like, he should have done the Biden debate.
Yeah, he probably
should have done that. He could have held his own.
Even if he had just repeatedly said peace and love over and over again, it would have been better.
I know. God almighty.
How do you respond to
like
that?
3 years
Peace and
ago or
love.
4 years ago, he put out a release that said, "Please stop sending me fan mail. I don't read it. I just throw it out."
Didn't go over well.
That's literally what he said. Peace and love.
John in Bridgewater, he's well
John
known.
is the original setting off a firework.
Yeah, he
from
said
his body.
Maybe he
area.
should have did the rear end firework. LOL.
Yeah. Well, maybe he should have.
John. We're glad John doesn't drink anymore.
Anyway, Ringo Starr turning 84 years old yesterday. And then one more I thought was interesting. You may be able to tell that this cheesy cover of Journey's Don't Stop Believing is a fake. But what if someone contacted you saying that they were the former lead singer, Steve Perry, and they not only needed money for a business venture, they also needed a new woman? That's what happened
to
a 75-year-old Journey fan in Cleveland. I should say to a naive 75-year-old Journey fan in Cleveland. She got scammed for $122,000 in wire transfers and gift cards. It wasn't until they asked for pictures of her passport and driver's license that she contacted police. Her name is not mentioned, but check this out. Here we go. Now, this is supposedly what she heard. Apparently, there's no singing in this. That's just stupid.
I think maybe you
and
were
I give
supposed
them
to
the
read
actual
this
clip.
You were supposed
they
to
wanted me
read
to
the
read it
story.
over that. That's stupid.
They got to tell you
I
that
want to hear
stuff.
what he sounded like. I can't get the audio. They don't have it.
Hello, this is Steve Perry from the band
Well,
Journey.
I got to tell you, with all of this artificial intelligence, you just don't know what you're listening to. Here is a blast. Where's Sergio? Sergio is. Where has he been for $1 Well, he's back. Here he is on the line right now with his own fireworks story here this morning. Sergio, good morning.
No, I'm just calling to let you know somebody's been cutting the cheese in Ilion.
Oh, you're kidding me.
It was last week.
Yeah.
I think it was in the middle of the week, but I dozed off, fell asleep, and then you got to have the cars off the street by 2.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I wake up and I look out the window, and I had left my wife's car out on the street. It was 3:11. So I jumped up, got some clothes on, ran out there, and pulled the car into the driveway real quick.
Yeah.
But when I'm walking up to her car, I'm looking at there's something orange, like on the, not quite on the windshield, but like on the doorpost on the driver's side. I'm thinking, what the heck is that? Is that some kind of marker the police are using to keep track of how long the car's been there? And I get closer, and it looks rubbery. It was a slice of American cheese.
Somebody put a slice of American. That's, I got to say,
can mess up the paint.
Yeah, especially if it bakes on there.
So, and then I'm looking, as I'm getting in the car, there's a slice of bologna just behind the driver's door on the ground. And I'm like, what the heck was going on last night, right? So I peeled the cheese off as best as I can.
Yeah.
And just threw it out on the street, parked her car. And then a few minutes later, I took my dog out for a walk. So like around 3:30 morning, I found slices of bologna just going down the street, on the street.
Well, your dog probably
So
loved
the
that.
bologna didn't stick. The bologna didn't stick like the cheese did. And
Oh,
it
the
left
cheese,
the print
yeah.
on her window where the bologna hit. But it's like, is that got to be something that the kids are?
I don't know. It must be a TikTok, right? It's like it's like a TikTok thing. They're all
TikTok.
Well, that American cheese that you get in the individual slices and the individual packaging, I'm not sure that's really even cheese. So God knows what's coming on your
Cheese substitute.
and it would bake on your car. Oh, that would not be good. So
maybe it was some kind of marker they use to keep track of how long the cars are out of the street.
could be. That's right. Once it turns hard and crusty, then you know the car's been there too long. So. All right, Sergio. Good hearing from you. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been on the night shift. That's why I haven't been able to catch you guys.
Fair enough. Well, I'm glad.
We're glad to hear from you.
Glad to hear from you this morning. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Yeah, take care.
You have a great day.
Bye.
Sergio in Ilion.
That is strange.
Yeah, I came out of the Comets game, and somebody had left the chicken wings, the ones that are everything chicken wings, all over every door handle on our car. Apparently, we parked in their place in the lot. They weren't happy. Listen, a lot to do next hour, including wait till you see what's been done at the Oblston. Coming up.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantique.com.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and now in Clinton. Summer is here, which means it's time to really buckle down and stay committed. But I know the beach is calling. I'm here to tell you that our 30-minute workouts are quick and effective, so you can still have time to enjoy the sun and the barbecues with family and friends. Try us out for free. Start living your best life with me and my amazing team at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and in Clinton.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Selects Premium Package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better.
You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge.
Oh, you people are wonderful.
Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/radio. That's JABRA Enhance.com/radio. JabraEnhance.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
More Democrats don't think President Biden should get 4 more years. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. They're all in the House as Congress returns this week, but the president keeps running for re-election despite concerns about his age and mental fitness, campaigning in Philadelphia.
Honest to God, have never more optimistic about America's future if we stick together.
But House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries convened top committee lawmakers to see how they feel about backing the president in the 2024 race. AP says Jerry Nadler of New York, Jim Himes of Connecticut, and Mark Takano of California all said the president should step aside.
Fox's Jill Nato. There are also reports Congressman Adam Smith and Joe Morrell, who are Democratic House committee leaders, also want the president to exit the race. Now, this week, President Biden hosts world leaders at a NATO summit in Washington. Helping Ukraine wage war will be a big topic. At least 20 people killed in Russian attacks today in several cities, including the capital.
A daylight bombardment of Kyiv. The biggest for months. Ukraine's largest children's hospital among the buildings hit. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko says windows were smashed and panels ripped off. Parents holding babies seen sobbing in the street outside.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Hurricane Beryl making it a miserable morning along the Texas coast and made landfall a few hours ago between Corpus Christi and Galveston. Fox Weather's Britta Merwins in Surfside.
We're still being hit by this powerful right side of the storm with 90-plus mile-per-hour winds. And then the storm surge only getting deeper. In fact, high tide is not for another 2 hours. So the water level is only continuing to rise.
Boeing's accepted a plea deal with the federal government on a criminal fraud charge and will pay a fine related to deadly MAX jet crashes overseas in 2018 and 19 that killed 346 people. Some victims' families want a judge to reject that agreement. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating, and of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
The federal bribery trial is winding down in New York for Senator Bob Menendez.
The New Jersey Democrat did not take the stand to testify in his own defense, clearing the way for closing arguments as soon as this afternoon. Brief testimony is expected when the jury returns to the Manhattan courtroom this morning, but the judge has told federal prosecutors to be prepared for summations after a lunch break. Menendez, who is chairman of the Senate's Foreign Relations Committee, has pleaded not guilty to charges of accepting hundreds of thousands of dollars in gifts, cash, and gold in exchange for favors to foreign business interests in Qatar and Egypt. A trial on unrelated charges in 2017 ended with a deadlocked jury. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
There's a pretrial hearing today in New Mexico for Alec Baldwin. The actor is charged with involuntary manslaughter in the 2021 shooting in the set of the movie Rust, where the gun went off as he held it, killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins. The employee in charge of weapons on the set was already convicted. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed got an 18-month prison sentence. On Wall Street, stock futures down slightly after gains last week lifted the Dow and the NASDAQ, which closed at yet another record high Friday. On the NASCAR track, a rainy Mini Race.
During a nearly 2-hour rain delay in Chicago, teams were informed that the Grant Park 165 would have an 8:20 local time cutoff, setting up a timed race and decisions to make on wet tires versus slicks.
Alex Bowman has never won on a road course, and now he is going to conquer the streets of Chicago.
Courtesy NBC Sports, Alex Bowman stuck with the wet tires and wins it, finishing 58 of the originally scheduled 75 laps to clinch a spot in the playoffs. Tyler Reddick was second on slicks. Tim McMaster, Fox News.
At the Wimbledon Tennis Tournament, American Coco Gauff, the number 2 women's seed, ousted in the 4th round. Defending men's champ Carlos Alcaraz advanced to the quarterfinals, and so did American Tommy Paul. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new Destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. We have cloudy skies currently. We're at 65 degrees, but things will clear up and warm up. We'll see temperatures in the low 90s today. Your full weather forecast in minutes. Funeral services were held for 13-year-old Niam Way in Utica Saturday morning. Hundreds of mourners attended the service from Way at Friedel, Williams, and Edmonds Funeral Home on Court Street. Way was shot and killed by Utica police on the 900 block of Shaw Street back on June 28th after he ran while being questioned by officers that were investigating robberies in the area. Body cam video shows Way pulled what appeared to be a handgun and pointed at officers. The gun would turn out to be a pellet gun. The New York State Attorney General's office is handling the investigation into the incident. 2 people were injured in an ATV accident in the town of Vernon Sunday evening. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says it happened just before 6:30 Sunday evening near the intersection of Norton Road and Houck Road. Deputies say 66-year-old Ronald Judge of Vernon was traveling south when the ATV left the road and rolled onto its side. Judge and his passenger, 67-year-old Billy Judge of Vernon, were ejected. Ronald Judge was transported to Upstate Medical University in Syracuse for treatment. Billy Judge was transported to Wynn Hospital. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. A serious accident closed a portion of Route 26 in Vernon Center. The accident happened just before 4:30 Sunday afternoon at the intersection with Simmons Road. A helicopter was called in to transport one patient to the hospital. We're awaiting more details and will provide more as they become available. 4 people were taken into custody following a shots fired incident on Williams Street in Rome Friday morning, and police believe it was a targeted event. According to Rome police, they responded to the 500 block of Williams Street for a report of shots fired. During the investigation, patrol located several spent shell casings and a residence that had been damaged by gunfire. There was someone in the home, but they were not injured. 4 persons of interest were identified and later taken into custody. The suspects were 1 adult female, 1 juvenile female, and 2 juvenile males. Rome police are asking anyone in the vicinity of the 500 block of Williams Street with surveillance footage to notify them if they see anything suspicious. And a year-long NASA Mars mission simulation has come to an end. The 4 volunteers who took part in the project exited their sealed habitat at the Johnson Space Center in Houston Saturday. They spent a total of 378 days living and working inside a 3D-printed habitat dubbed Mars Dune Alpha. NASA will be using their experiences to plan for crewed missions to the Red Planet, which they hope to begin launching in the late 2030s or early 40s. Kind of hard to believe they're already preparing for that. Can you imagine being stuck inside of an environment, a controlled environment, for 378 days?
Yeah, I saw that and I thought that. However, that's what they're going to be if they go into space.
Yeah.
Right? Think about it.
Well, hopefully,
So if they can't handle that, they can't handle going into space.
So this is the crew 10 to 20 years from now that'll be doing this.
Yeah, it's wild.
Interesting. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Wheelock Disposal, local, reliable, affordable trash service. For today, we can expect sunny skies with temperatures in the low 90s. Overnight, we'll see partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the low 60s. Tomorrow, we'll see temperatures in the Low 90s with a possibility of a rain shower and thunderstorm. Heat index could feel as high as 95, but right now it's 65 under cloudy skies at 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43 local contractors. We'll start with a less depressing team, the Mets, who took the lead in their 4-game series against the Pittsburgh Pirates after earning a 3-2 come-from-behind victory at PNC Park. New York is now third in the NL East at 44-44. They'll look to close out the 4-game set this afternoon. The Red Sox shut out the Yankees 3-0 after a 14-4 win on Saturday. The Yankees scored 14 runs on Saturday and scored nothing yesterday. Luis Gil, who really pitched a great game until he gave up that one-run shot. He pitched a great game, but he was charged with the loss. New York is now second in the AL East. Boston is closing in on them. They're at 55-37. They'll visit the Tampa Bay Rays for a 3-game series that begins tomorrow night at Tropicana Field. Then they have to play the Orioles to close out the first half of the season. I'm just telling you, not looking good for the Yankees right now. They need to figure some stuff out. And the trade deadline quickly approaching, they need to get some stuff together, especially pitching. Speaking of pitching, the pitchers for this month's MLB All-Star Game were announced. The American League pitchers are Angels starter Tyler Anderson, Orioles starter Corbin Burns, Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase, White Sox starter Garrett Crochet, Mariners starter Logan Gilbert, and Yankees closer Clay Holmes. I don't understand that. My theory is that National League fans voted him in so that he would blow the game, essentially. You know, that's just my little theory there.
Yes, because National League fans care so much about the All-Star Game.
Well, I just don't understand it because I don't know
They're
anybody
plotting against the American League.
Seen Clay Holmes pitch this season. He blows more games than he saves, would vote him into the All-Star Game.
Mm-hmm.
Davis Thompson earned his first career tour victory after winning the 2024 John Deere Classic at TPC Deere Run. Thompson finished atop the leaderboard with a 28 under par for the tournament. He is the 24th player to make the John Deere Classic his first tour win. And it was an intriguing Sunday at Wimbledon in the women's singles. 19th-seeded American Emma Navarro upset second-seeded American Coco Gauff in straight sets to move on to the quarterfinals. And in the men's singles, 1-seed Jannik Sinner moved past 14th-seeded American Ben Shelton in straight sets to advance to the quarterfinals. 3-seeded Carlos Alcaraz and 12-seeded American Tommy Paul also moved on. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:12.
You know, I feel like sometimes having a radio show is like it's like going to a therapy session. Mm-hmm. So for 3 hours, you just sit here and talk and sometimes say too much. Sometimes walk out and say, well, I wish I hadn't have said that.
Or you say just enough.
In this case, so they want me to take this medicine at 5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It is
almost 7:12.
And the reason why, here's the reason why. Because you have to fast for 2 hours. This pill, as long as I'll be on this pill. Oh, I have another thing to tell you, too, about this pill. It's unbelievable. Anyway, so they want me to take it at 5 before I go to work. Yeah. So I'll take it at like 5:30, which I did this morning, and it causes some pretty massive fatigue, which I am beginning to feel tremendously right now.
You're doing well.
So, but here's why they don't want you to take it at night, because you have to fast for 2 hours before you take it.
Mm-hmm.
However, it really kind of makes sense to take it at night, doesn't it? Because the beginning of it, the first 6 or 7 hours, you get this massive fatigue.
You get a great night's sleep.
I feel like I get a really good night's sleep out of it.
You're just going to have to change. You may eat a little earlier dinner.
I'll have my cocktail in the morning before I come to work.
Perfect.
So
we'll have a bottle ready for you.
Anyway, that's this. And do you know, so I'm on a trial, and I really expect something from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Mm-hmm.
I really expect something like a gift from them. They should send me something
like a fruit basket
as a thank you, even a fruit basket.
Yeah,
because they were scheduled to cover this medicine. This medicine is $15,000, every 2 weeks.
Oh, my God.
30 pills, $15,000.
Wow.
So a month, this is, of course, $30,000 a month that my insurance company doesn't have to pay for because I'm a guinea pig in this thing.
Oh,
so for
trial.
3 years as part of the trial, it is covered by the trial.
Wow.
So my insurance company doesn't have to. I just saved Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield. By next week, they should be a major sponsor on this program.
Yeah, they
I
should.
just saved Blue Cross Blue Shield $30,000 a month by going on this trial.
That, I mean, if
First
you think
of all,
about that.
how are people supposed to? In America, we have insurance that covers it. If not, there are grants. People are not going to die in the United States who need this medicine. But in other parts of the world, people are dying because they can't get this medicine because it's so expensive. How in the world can that happen?
Well,
everybody should at least have the same opportunity that everybody else has, that other people have, because this is literally a medicine that stops the cancer and ultimately allows you to survive
and have a normal life
for could be 30 years. And $30,000 a month.
See, that's the interesting thing. And I had a conversation with a physician recently who said, most of the time, you as the patient, you're not paying for anything. You're not the payer. It's either your insurance company or something.
Well,
like
you're
that.
paying on you pay your monthly.
It's very small. You pay your premiums,
and it
stuff
can
like
be
that.
yes, it can be a small.
But for
amount.
major treatments or medicines like this, the actual patient isn't the payer. So that's why sometimes there needs to maybe be some reforms of some kind, because it ends up being on the provider or the
Well, usually it's not the provider. Usually it's your insurance company, or it could be
or the pharmaceutical companies.
The pharmaceutical company grant money that's done. People raise money to allow people to be able to afford this type of medicine.
I guess what you're saying is that's what allows the prices to go up so much. On everything.
Maybe, but here's the other part of this. There are 3,000 people that get this every year. So it's a relatively small amount. So this is a very unique targeted medicine. But, I'm not trying to justify $30,000 for 60 pills. But at the same time, you're welcome, Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield.
That's the point.
You are very, very welcome.
Now send me a damn fruit basket.
Here is all I want. Actually, I'd like a chocolate basket.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay, let me go to Mike, who's standing by now. Hi, Mike and Skyler. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I made my second trip to the stadium this weekend to see the Red Sox.
Oh, you did? Nice.
Hopefully you were at the Saturday game, Mike.
You know what? I was, and I'm so happy I was at that game. I watched the game the night before, right?
Yeah.
And the Friday night game, and oh my God, and that Clay Holmes,
he's awful.
Time he goes out there, I can't believe what you said. Exactly what you said. How did he get voted to the All-Star game? It's unbelievable. But
one strike away, Bell, and he gave up a 2-run home run to tie the game.
Oh, you Yankee fans!
But then Mike saw history on Saturday when rookie Ben Rice hit 3 home runs for 7 RBIs.
That was really incredible.
Ever to do that.
And what I loved about the shot of that is he didn't know what to do
with a curtain call.
They tried to. He didn't know. They had to show him
to the dugout. Go
what
leave,
to do.
leave.
Yeah,
and the funny thing is, going to the game, I said, you know what? Because my girlfriend thought, because they've been doing so badly. I said, you know what? They're probably going to win. They're probably going to, especially because they were losing so many games in a row. And after that loss the night before, and then sure enough, they happened. But the funny thing is, so Ben Rice led off the game with a home run. He
it was
started
the first
with a home
pitch,
run. And
essentially.
That's the first time I saw a leadoff home run since Ricky Henderson. That's what Ricky Henderson used to do. He was known for that.
I get every once in a while I'll get a call from somebody or an email from somebody. They're like, "Listen, when you guys talk sports, I don't know anything about it. I don't care about it. I wish you wouldn't talk sports." I know what they feel like. 'Cause I don't care anything about these Yankees at all. It's like, whatever. Move on.
But here's something that's funny, too. Because so he had the 3 home runs in a game.
Yeah.
And I was looking, there's only been one Yankee. I want to see if you know this one, Andrew. There's only been one Yankee that have 4 home runs in a game. You know who it was?
I don't.
Take a guess?
I would say
the
only Yankee to ever have 4 runs in a game
was Jeter.
4 home runs.
I would say was Reggie Jackson.
Nope, he had 3.
I would say
it
was Babe Ruth.
Nope, he had 3 too.
Was it Lou Gehrig?
Lou Gehrig.
It was Lou Gehrig.
The only Yankee. You know what's funny? Babe Ruth's number was 3, and Lou Gehrig's number was 4. Their numbers were 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But that's not why they're 3 and 4. And the last thing you know is why they're 3 and 4.
Why are they 3 and 4?
Would you believe it's very simple? That because Babe Ruth batted 3 in the lineup and Gehrig batted 4. That's why their numbers were this.
Well, I hope we win. Hope I get free money because of this. Thank you. All right, Mike. I have thoroughly been disgusted by this conversation and have no interest in it. But thank you.
You should be reveling in this because the Yankees are plummeting. They're faltering.
I don't
They're
think it's
awful.
that bad.
You don't think it's that bad?
I haven't watched, to be honest.
Remember, Yogi said, it ain't over till it's over.
Mike, I'm glad you're still optimistic.
As Mets fans, we sit here and worry every time they now bring in Diaz to close out a game because you just know he's going to give up a run, which he did last night. The Pirates went ahead yesterday afternoon, but then the Mets came back and won it in the ninth inning. Okay, thank you, Mike.
Last thing.
There's a last thing.
I hope for. The last thing I hope for is I hope after this year, if Boone is gone, I hope to see Manley come back to manage. I want to see him manage the Yankees, and maybe they can turn things around.
Cashman's got to go too.
Davey, one final comment.
Yep.
Davey.
I agree with Mike.
Okay.
Don Manley should be the Yankees manager.
All right. Thank you. All right, Michael. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.
You too.
Okay.
And Thursday
Go
night.
Mets.
And Thursday night, we will see the future of both teams. The Mets and Yankees are playing in Syracuse this week.
And they're AAA teams. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I want to go to Mark Donovan if we can. It's Boilermaker week.
Yes, it is.
Before we break, Andrew, and then
That's
we'll break,
fine.
and
That's
Mike's
fine.
free money question
You
coming
do
up.
what you need to do.
I did mention we have Tim Tarbox and Reed Kinderman coming in from Liberty Affordable Housing, and what they have done to the Oblston
gorgeous
is unbelievable. Now, what Mark Donovan has done to the Boilermaker is unbelievable.
Phenomenal.
Mark. Good morning. Good morning.
Best road race ever.
Good morning.
Greatest.
Good morning. Have I done to it or for it?
I think both. Both would be appropriate. Listen, it's one of those plug and play situations. The Boilermaker is a plug and play. However, there's and I'm assuming you've been there. What is it? 3 years? 4 years now.
2018. So
okay.
Yeah.
6. Well, we had we lived through COVID during part of that.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
what do you think? I know this is probably a philosophical, stupid question, but I'm on some serious drugs right now. So
we all are going to be surprised here.
What do you think? I mean, when you took the job to now, what is what has surprised you? What has made you feel like, wow, I never realized this, and this were so important to the Boilermaker?
Well, first thing is, if you're on drugs, I hope you brought enough to share for the whole class.
Okay.
Secondly,
says the true Grateful Dead fan. There you go.
Right. No confirmation or denials. You think, first off, you alluded to it. There's the magnitude of everything that goes on. And it encapsulated a lot. Last year I had a volunteer ask, hey, people see us with our volunteer shirts and they think we know everything about the race. So we get these questions and, maybe you're a volunteer working merchandise at the expo, or you're a volunteer at a water state, wherever it is. Everyone's got their areas.
Yes.
But the expectation is you're wearing the shirt and you're going to know it all. And the reality is as I sit here today, I don't know it all.
Right.
That's the scope of this thing. So that was an eye opener for me back in 2018, 2019. 2018 was a little blissful honeymoon because the incredible staff and volunteer teams had. I got there 30 days before, so I just stayed out of the way.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's now I know a lot more and a lot more of what can go wrong, and that's the stuff that keeps you up at night. Because there's stuff you can control and stuff you can't control.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, it's pre-pandemic, we were plug and play in terms of getting numbers and things like that, and okay, what else can we do from an organizational perspective? And then you have a once in a lifetime pandemic, and you move into we got to make sure this thing survives for the next 50 years.
Right.
And that's where we've been, and pleased to report that we continue to get growth each year.
Yeah.
So I think we've moved out of the survival mode, and we're back into a little rebirth, regrowth, and things like that.
It really was when with COVID, it really did make events like as iconic as the Boilermaker. It made you think all over again to try to be like, wow, we gotta, we're being thrown problems that we've never seen before through the years and years of this road race. And you had to come up with some new ideas and new things to be able to keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, because the baseline of the event, and just from a scope perspective, from a security perspective, all those things didn't get smaller.
Right. Yeah.
That was still there. So you have to have certain numbers to make this viable for the next 50 years.
Well, and there was the, I think the numbers for a while were impacted by it, but, here you are and you've got a sold out race once again, and things have kind of really gotten back to where they were pre-COVID, and you've got to feel good about that.
Oh, absolutely. You look at the 15K, and it's interesting year to year. So last year we had a pretty strong 5K bounce back, relatively speaking, and the 15K was a little less than that. And this year that's inverted. We had a cap of 10,000, and we hit that over a month ago at this point. And there's still people looking. We had 500 people on the wait list, and this is also the time of year where those folks who didn't get enough training in, had an injury. So we always have, interestingly, the numbers are line up.
Yeah.
We average about 500 a year that either can't run or drop down from the 15 to the 5. So that means virtually everybody on that wait list had an opportunity to get in.
That's awesome.
And interesting consumer behavior post-COVID, only half actually took that opportunity up.
Right.
Which is something we got to study as we go forward.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And you do between the Boilermaker and other events, you do a lot of traveling. It does seem like this is the year, the last, 6 months or so, has felt like we're finally getting back to those pre-COVID numbers, whether you're talking about the Boilermaker or concerts or events, sporting events, that sort of thing. It seems like we're finally back. It's taken a while.
Yeah, and part of that is economy. We can read that the economy is doing poorly, but look at consumer behavior, and it'll tell you the opposite.
Yep.
And our economy is driven by consumer behavior. And the biggest thing that still is out there is people wait. So
right.
The 5K in the last 2 weeks the numbers have just skyrocketed. Mm-hmm. But everybody waited. There was always a piece of that. But you know what? I'm not sure. Am I going away that weekend? Am I not? Those are things that pre-COVID never existed. You were doing the Boilermaker.
Yeah.
And you bought your bid months ago. Now we're like, oh, yeah, you want to do it? I want to do it. Okay, let's do it. And now that happens to be the end of June when they make that decision.
It is. There have been some changes. And the other area where I've noticed that I think are major changes is in the restaurant world. Restaurants used to be serving till, around here till 10 o'clock at night, and there still may be some stragglers in there at 11, or some of the bars would be open usually till 2 o'clock in the morning because they could. Now, all of a sudden, it is amazing how
it's rare to see a place
early
open
people go
that.
home
Yeah.
now. It's a completely different world. Luckily, you don't have to worry about that because the Boilermaker is in the AM, which is always, kind of helps you.
But people party all day.
They do all day. All right. Anything you want people to know? This is it. Here we go. It's Boilermaker Week.
Boilermaker Week, 5K still has, we're at about just under 4,000, so if people want to participate, that cap's 4,500, and you've got until, I believe, Friday to register for that. Number one, we're very excited. Today, as soon as I hang up here, we head to NBCC's Utica campus to start setting up the expo. All are invited. It's not just a runner event.
Yep.
Please come out, check it out. The Utica National Kids Run is one of the coolest things you'll ever see if you're into seeing joy on children's faces. Right now we're up to we just try not to fixate on weather, but we've been very fortunate, and we're hoping that come Sunday morning we have another beautiful day for another great Boilermaker.
Boy, we have had, it does look like it might be cooling off a little bit for the weekend. Am I right? Or
Well, looking at the extended forecast, this is weather.gov. This is the National Weather Service. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high in the upper 80s.
In the upper 80s, so it's going to be another warm day. Well, it'll be, it's far better than thunderstorms. So,
yep.
All right. And so if you want to, the 5K is one of those things where if you're in decent shape, you could say today, you know what, screw it, I'm going to run.
Do it. Yeah,
that's the nice part about the 5K. So people there's still room to get into that. And then, of course, the kids run, all of these other things that go on. And the expo is one of those things that seems like it's back to where it was pre-COVID. Would you agree with that?
Yes, the field house in the Jorgensen Center is completely sold out. Some people are now getting in, and we got to put them outside. So hopefully the weather holds up for them outside. But yes, 2 years ago we had a lot of open space in there. Last year we got, I think we filled it last year, and this year we did it again. So excited about that.
And then finally I think we picked a really awesome singer for this year's post-race party. At the brewery afterwards.
Yes, that was a great event. Always thank you to Town Square and IBX. That was it's always fun, and Mr. Stewart will be first time. Bill, you could probably answer this. I don't know. Since I've been around, it's always been female singers. This is the first male that I'm aware of.
Ryan Quinn sang.
Oh, Ryan Quinn did it right in 21.
Yep.
Yes, that first year back because it's part of Showtime. Right, we weren't quite out of the woods yet.
So we weren't quite out of the woods, and he did he did a great job. So, all right, good stuff, Mark. We look forward to it. A busy week, and we'll see you as the week goes on. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Mark Donovan with the Boilermaker. It is.
It's always a great week.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think we're looking at the chance of rain. Later in the day,
even as early as Saturday.
But it does look pretty good for the weekend. Right now, I know it's early. It looks good for Boilermaker Sunday. And man, we had a great stretch of weather. It's been really something. All right, Hobica's free money question of the day is coming up. After that, we'll speak with Tim and Reed on the revamping, the reinvention.
Not Tim Reed, Tim and Reed.
That's right. Tim and Reed from Liberty Affordable Housing and what they have done at the Oblston. It's just unbelievable. And we'll talk about that coming up at WIBX.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
History History was made when the Belmont Stakes were held at Saratoga Racecourse for the first time this spring. And now, the nation's top horses, jockeys, and trainers head back upstate for an action-packed summer meet at Saratoga. Your summer home for the best in thoroughbred racing opens its doors Thursday, July 11th through Sunday, July 14th. Secure your tickets opening weekend today and kick off 40 days of fun in Saratoga at nyra.com/Saratoga. That's nyra.com/Saratoga for opening weekend tickets.
If you're push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated welded steel decks, so don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Warner Sales and Service, and we'll guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Warner Sales and Service, located just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona.
Summer's greatest hits are going on now, and Macy's one-day sale has summer's greatest savings. Shop limited-time specials like 40 to 60% off everything for this weekend's Backyard Bash. From the Cellar Barbecue, Henkel's, and Tupperware, 40 to 70% off fine jewelry from Effie, Levion, and more, and 30 to 55% off bras, pajamas, and more basics. Hurry in. Our one-day sale starts Tuesday at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices, exclusions apply.
Always dreamed of a Tempur-Pedic mattress? Right now, save up to $500 on select sets at Mattress Express for our 4th of July sale. Put no money down and get up to 60 months to pay for qualified customers. Go to mattressexpressny.com for locations.
Congress is poised to pass a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. 82 million Americans risk losing the news, sports, talk, traffic, and vital emergency information they rely on. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to pass this bill now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. With Ramp, you get full visibility into your company's spending and control who spends what with each vendor. Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts instantly to save your team valuable time. Ramp automates data entry and routine tasks with automated approvals, expense categorization and bill payments, time-consuming tasks. Which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, I'll tell you about Ricky Z, and you can drive an award-winning Mazda and get 0% APR financing. It's true, and you can find out at Steve Ponte Mazda. Drive a new 2024 Mazda CX-5 SC model for only $285 a month on a 36-month lease, or save with 0% APR financing on select award-winning new 2024 Mazdas. See Steve Ponte Mazda for details. As they say, let's make your deal on a new Mazda. That's what Rick says. It's like the first thing he'll say when you walk through the door. Let's make a deal on a new Mazda, where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:39. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Funeral services were held for 13-year-old Nia Mouet in Utica Saturday morning. Hundreds of mourners attended the service from Way at Friedel Williams and Edmonds Funeral Home on Court Street. Mouet was shot and killed by Utica police on the 900 block of Shaw Street on June 28th after he ran while being patted down by officers that were investigating robberies in the area. Body cam video shows Mouet pull what appeared to be a handgun and pointed at officers. That gun would turn out to be a pellet gun. The New York State Attorney General's office is handling the investigation into this incident. 2 people were injured in an ATV accident in the town of Vernon Sunday evening. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says it happened just before 6:30 Sunday near the intersection of Norton and Houck Roads. Deputies say 66-year-old Ronald Judge of Vernon was traveling south when the ATV left the roadway and rolled onto its side. Judge and his passenger, 67-year-old Billy Judge of Vernon, were ejected. Ronald Judge was transported to Upstate Medical in Syracuse for treatment. Billy Judge was transported to the Wynn. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. A memorial service will be held today for a Cleveland police officer with ties to Syracuse who was killed in the line of duty. The service will be held at 10 this morning at Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist in Cleveland for Officer Jamison Ritter. Ritter was fatally shot last Thursday while serving a warrant. Ritter was a 2019 graduate of Syracuse University. And the United States Postal Service is raising the price of forever stamps later this month. The stamps will sell for 73 cents beginning July 14th, up a nickel from the current price. Other postage costs are going up too, including postcard and metered letter rates. The increases are part of a decade-long financial outline USPS is calling the Delivering for America plan. It is 7:41. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. For today, we will see mostly sunny skies, a high in the low 90s, partly cloudy skies overnight with a low in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, a slight chance of rain and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny and hot with a high in the low to mid 90s. It could feel as high as 95. Right now, we're at 66 degrees under cloudy skies. It is 7:41.
All right, let's do Habaika's free money question of the day. Davey, you're looking for caller number. We said $150, and you're looking for caller.
Well, it was really 50. You
Wow, that came from Stefan. I don't know. Did Joe really say that? I mean,
he misheard.
Probably meant 150.
Caller 6.
6th caller through the lines right now at 315-736-0186. Caller number 6 right now. A chance to win from Habaika and WIBX.
Paid for by government. Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1904 $20 Gold Liberty coins have been found. These gorgeous 1904p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 500 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed a 1904 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1904 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition with brilliant luster. That is 120 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9819. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $75 value free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9819 now to secure your 1904p $20 Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-973-9819.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Insera's. Log on to their website at InserasFlooringOutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Insera's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. It's selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, InSarah'sFlooringOutlet.com, and see for yourself, or visit their store, in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
Some things in life you can just rely on, like the faithful friend who always comes when you call, the paperboy who never misses a day, and the tried and true performance of a new Ruud Home AC system. So here's to reliability built into everything we do. Rely on us, your Ruud Pro partner, to get reliable cooling and comfort. For outstanding service, knowledgeable technicians, and dependable home comfort, contact Tri-County Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling home needs. Call 315-829-4100 or online at tri-countyheating.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Have you tried the matcha green tea latte?
It's really good, yeah.
So good. And then, of course, there's the amazing Daylight Donuts, breakfast sandwiches, and all that, espresso lattes. Oh, the espresso at Daylight Donuts is what is keeping me going.
It is good.
Daylight Donuts with a speedy drive-through in New Hartford. All right, on the line right now is Eric in Deerfield, ready to take a shot at Hobeika's free money question of the day. It is the Hobeika Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Hobeika, 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. And Eric, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Bill. Fine. How are you?
Good. You ready to go here?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
All right. You know the rules. You have 7 seconds to answer the question, and each one is always doable. I think this one is pretty doable, too. All right. Here's your question. 7 seconds to answer. Governor David B. Hill, proclaimed, New York Governor David B. Hill proclaimed this a national park in 1885. What is it? Ready, go.
What is Proctor Park?
What is Proctor Park, which is not a national park?
It should be, darn it.
Well, you had to come up with a guess. The answer is, and I only know this because we were out in the Buffalo area a lot recently, Niagara Falls.
Ooh, good one.
1885. So, all right, we will give you the food and fun card, the all-in-one food and fun card. Good at Aquavino, Babes, of course, and you know Babes with their Saturday and Sunday brunch you can check out as well. It's a $25 gift card. Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
All right, Eric. Thank you so much. Davey, he is all yours. In studio right now, Tim Tarbox and Reed Kinderman. Gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Thanks so much for coming in.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So, first of all, if you could, whoever wants to take this, how bad was when you guys...
Day one, you walk in.
Day one. And we have to give Mayor Palmieri credit for this.
Absolutely.
Because he certainly made all of this got this started. How bad was it on day one?
It was bad enough, as you know, they had to close down the building. The people were living in apartments that they shouldn't have been living in. When Liberty finally took over, we hired a company to come in, help clean it out. If you can imagine, there was 163 apartments, and we took out almost 160 dumpsters full of trash and garbage.
Wow. That's almost a dumpster for every apartment.
Every apartment. And there's 4 phases there. The tenants lived in phase 1 and 2 on the second and first floor. You couldn't live on at any floors above that. And phase 4 was a totally mess. The roof has caved in all the way down to the first floor.
Wow. So the other part of this that I find very interesting is this is a property that is preserved historically. Explain that and all of what that meant for you guys to move forward.
So logistically, because it is an historic building, we had to meet a number of regulations, and we also had to attempt to secure historic housing tax credits on top of our traditional low-income housing tax credits that we solicit through syndicators. And it was a heavy lift because we had to go through, and anything and everything that could be preserved had to go back into its original place. So logistically, that is a nightmare, but at the same time, it is worth the effort, especially when you see the final product today.
Which we did, and I mean,
we did. We took a tour.
One of those examples, one of the examples, were the ceilings, the curved ceilings that were plaster. Nothing was really salvageable, with the exception of, you said, the exterior walls.
So the ceilings had to be replaced.
The drywall on the ceilings.
Okay.
Every brick is still there from the 1800s.
Oh, okay.
Didn't remove any of the bricks or anything.
Speaking of the bricks, I thought the ceilings were, because it's almost like a
water curved
like
plaster.
Yeah, it's curved.
It was like a surf.
So you have to find like a surf. You have to find somebody that's going to do that work.
Right.
That can do that work.
Right.
Which is interesting. The other part is, I thought it was a great story when you talked about behind these walls is brick, and we thought it'd be really good if we exposed the brick, because people love that today. Right. But you were unable to do that. And the reason?
So the reason for that is New York State Parks, Rec, and Historical Preservation says that we need to demonstrate what that building looked like at its earliest point in time. And at that stage, there were no photos demonstrating exposed brick. It was covered. So we had to go through and we had to actually cover all of that brick, as beautiful as it would have been to have that exposed brick. And even the architect we worked with said, look, if you can find me a photo, I'd love for you to find me a photo.
I wish you'd have called us, because we're so good here with Photoshop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I
would have listed some help there.
Yeah, we would have made it look real.
Look at that. There it is. There's the exposed brick. One of the interesting things was Mayor Palmieri was criticized heavily, saying, oh, this is just gentrification. Those people, but that building should have been condemned probably long before.
How bad
he actually did it?
How bad was it for the people who were living in that building? How bad was it?
I can't imagine. I mean, when I first walked into the building, I couldn't believe people was living in that building.
Yeah.
I mean, it was their home, the only place they could go to. But no one should have been living there.
Yeah,
no one.
And there were people even living in the basement, right?
There was people living in the basement. Yeah. They were, after we took over, they were still sneaking into the building because they had no place to go.
And the fire department was actually. That's an interesting story too. They were.
Yeah, you could see. They were nervous. You could see the smiles on their faces.
Well, they were nervous about coming into that building because it was so unsafe, right?
Yep, it wasn't safe at all. We took the full fire department the last couple of weeks through the new building, and they were very impressed also, and they feel safe now going into the building. As you gentlemen saw last week when you went into it, what we have done to it.
And one of the big questions I think a lot of people had, and certainly we had, is, a lot of people think, oh, well, it's just going to be back to right where it was before. But your plan to manage this building to prevent that from happening is very calculated and
correct.
And
Liberty Affordable Housing.
Down to a science.
Right. Liberty Affordable Housing is the owner of the property. CRM Rental Management is our sister company. They'll be managing it for us. And we do quarterly inspections on our properties. And the tenants will have to sign papers to let them know that we will be going in. If they violate their lease, they'll get one warning. The second time will probably be an eviction.
Okay.
So, by the way, we're speaking with Timothy Tarbox and Reed Kenderman from Liberty Affordable Housing, the Oblston. This is, do you see this as a part of, there's a resurgence happening. Do you see this as a part of that?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the almost $2.5 billion that has been put into this area between downtown Utica and Marcy with the chip fab, we do view this as being our contribution to really helping connect outer neighborhoods to that renaissance of downtown Utica that has been led by County Executive Pacenti, my former employer, Senator Griffo, former Assembly member Anthony Brindisi, as among others, as well as Mayor Paul Mary, who was very integral in assisting us with this property.
Yeah.
And yes, we do kind of view that as being our way to connect this neighborhood above Oneida Square to downtown.
Wayne with a question about the apartments. Wayne, you're on with Liberty Affordable Housing, the Oblston. What do you have?
How were you guys able to get people that weren't paying or squatters out as easy as you did without problems when people that are just owning regular houses in the city have a time or they have I don't know, the people could just sit there and stay in the house and just pay utilities and stuff, and you can't get them out. How did you guys get
condemned,
so many
right?
people out?
Yes, the building was condemned, so there was nobody living in the building when Liberty took ownership. So we didn't have to go through that. And I think a lot of what he's referring to, and it's an issue that we've dealt with even as a large multifamily affordable housing developer, the post-COVID rules that were put in place and even during the Cuomo administration relative to being able to evict tenants either for lack of payment or other discrepancies.
All right, Wayne, there you go. Thanks, man. So when are you opening, and when people could apply right now? Is that that's correct?
Yes. So we held our lottery in mid-May, and those tenants who have been pre-qualified will be rolling down that list, and we will be offering them apartments and units as we go through. We are looking to open mid-August, and obviously there are still vacancies, so people can still apply. They can go to our property manager's website, which is crmrentalmgmt.com, or if they are more familiar with apartments.com, we do purchase a subscription there, so they can also go on to apartments.com, get a full rundown of income eligibility, as well as see the photos that you witnessed firsthand.
It was amazing. Wow.
And what income level are we talking about here?
So on the upper end, we're talking 80% of the area median income, but we are mostly at the 60% AMI. So a lot of people, families of four will be eligible upwards of over $50,000 at that 60% AMI, but you're also talking entry-level employees. So when I was working in the state legislature, I was making $30,000 when I started.
Yeah.
So I would have been income eligible.
Been a good place to have you stay. It's
and it is
nice place.
And I was telling you that I have people that have looked at the place and were quite impressed. There's something about this younger age group, somebody who's 25, 30, 35 years old, maybe single. They want a city life. They want to live city life. This would offer that opportunity, right?
Oh, absolutely. You've seen a lot of loft apartments created over the last decade and a half. Certainly something that even today would be out of my price range in terms of the monthly expenditure. And this is really getting to that middle income bracket that wants to live in a city setting, but cannot currently because they're just priced out. This offers them that ability.
And so people know, what was the investment like for Liberty going from day one to now, roughly?
A lot of hard work. I'll put, it was supposed to be a 24-month project turned into 27 months because when we first got in there, we were only supposed to remove 60% of the walls. We had to do 100% of the walls because of the asbestos. So the investment was very high.
And you weren't able to dump the asbestos in the Mohawk River? You guys weren't able to do that?
I didn't say we didn't do that. I just said...
No, we will not be responsible for Oneida County's Love Canal.
Okay, that is a very good point.
Gaetano, our construction company that did the work for us, did a great job for us.
It's really beautiful, the work they've done.
And, we're glad you guys came out to see it and everything.
We'll put photos up later today. You'll be able to see some of the pictures. It's incredible. So, all right.
I would like to mention that, we went from 160 apartments to 153 apartments to make the apartments bigger than what they were before. We have 34 studios, 87 one-bedrooms, and 32 two-bedrooms.
All right.
And
we toured much of the building. It was really, really impressive.
Right. Yeah,
Gentlemen,
thanks for having us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Tim and Reed, thank you both. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
We got a break. News is coming up next on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
President Biden under even more pressure to stop running for re-election. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. But as more Democrats worry about his age and mental fitness, the president keeps going, campaigning in Philadelphia.
There's more to do to deliver jobs and justice. There's more to do. But above all, we need to protect our rights, the rights of all Americans.
Fox's Jillian Turner reports from the White House.
One Democrat reportedly telling Axios, quote, the expletive is going to hit the fan Monday when Congress returns. People are scared about their own races, but they're also worried about the country and about democracy. 4 more Democrats privately called for Biden to bow out during a listening session that happened with leader Hakeem Jeffries.
It's now up to at least 10 House Democrats calling for the president to exit the race. Tomorrow, the president hosts world leaders at a NATO summit. The war in Ukraine, a big topic. Russian missile attacks today killed at least 20 Ukrainians. Boeing has worked out a plea deal with the federal government.
The Justice Department says Boeing has agreed to plead guilty to criminal fraud and avoid a trial involving the 2 crashes of its 737 MAX jetliners that left 346 people dead. As part of the deal, Boeing must pay an additional $243.6 million fine and invest $455 million in its safety and compliance programs.
Fox's Sue Guzman. Some victims' families want a federal judge to reject that plea deal. Hurricane Beryl is moving deeper into Texas after coming ashore about 3 hours ago between Corpus Christi and Galveston. It's still a Category 1 storm.
And the heaviest rainfall now moving into the Houston metro. That's concerning because all of Houston, or most of it, is a lot of concrete, and the water has nowhere to go. Over close to 6 inches already.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean Beryl did a lot of damage on Caribbean islands, blamed for at least 11 deaths. Excessive heat warnings remain in place. Arizona to Nevada, California up to Oregon and Washington state. Temperatures in some areas topping 110 degrees, even 120. America's listening to Fox News.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Progressive presents 10 things on a plumber's to-do list that are harder than getting a small business insurance quote. Waking up for 5 a.m. plumbing disasters, finding out why water is pouring from the ceiling, replacing a pipe in a home from the 1800s, then dealing with invoices or your awkward apprentice or that really weird smell, and then there's breathing and eating and, of course, clogs. But the easiest thing on any small business owner's to-do list? Seeing if you could save on the business insurance that's right for you. Get a quote in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers.
Days after British voters took a turn to the left in elections that ushered in new Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Fox's Jonathan Savage reports French voters just did the same.
President Emmanuel Macron called this parliamentary election to test whether France really wanted the right-wing national rally to control the country. The results of an often bitter campaign suggest that's not the case. The national rally were expected to win, but ended up third. That's because left-wing and centrist parties worked together to stop them. But now France faces a hung parliament with no bloc big enough to govern alone.
And that led to some celebrations on the streets in France, also some protests. The French president has just rejected the outgoing prime minister's resignation amid the political uncertainty. NASA is hoping to someday send astronauts to Mars. Some just finished a year-long pretend mission.
That four-person crew, 2 men and 2 women, emerged Saturday afternoon from a simulated Mars environment at the Johnson Space Flight Center in Houston after spending more than 12 months inside. The 4 volunteers, Kelly Haston, Anka Solariu, Ross Brockwell, and Nathan Jones, entered the simulated Mars bunker on June 23rd of 2023. They spent the next 378 days living and working together inside a 17,000-square-foot 3D printed habitat while simulating spacewalks, growing and harvesting vegetables, and maintaining their habitat and equipment. Paul Stevens, Fox News.
On Wall Street this morning, stock futures have been mixed. The NASDAQ closed at a record high on Friday. Minions are kings of the box office.
You will be the first to test our super serum, designed to transform you into cutting-edge agents. Or you might just explode.
Despicable Me 4 debuted at number 1 in theaters with a $75 million weekend, knocking Inside 2 out of the top spot. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Right now, we have sunny skies, 70 degrees. It's going to heat up today. Your full weather forecast in minutes. Funeral services were held for 13-year-old Naya Mue in Utica Saturday. Hundreds of mourners attended the service for Mue at Friedel, Williams, and Edmonds Funeral Home on Court Street. Mue was shot and killed by Utica police on the 900 block of Shaw Street on June 28th after he was being questioned by police investigating robberies in the area. Body cam video shows Mue pull what appeared to be a handgun and pointed at officers. That gun would turn out to be a pellet gun. The New York State Attorney General's office is handling the investigation into the incident. 2 people were injured in an ATV accident in the town of Vernon Sunday. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office says it happened just before 6:30 Sunday evening near the intersection of Norton and Houck Roads. Deputies say 66-year-old Ronald Judge of Vernon was traveling south when the ATV left the roadway and rolled onto its side. Judge and his passenger, 67-year-old Billy Judge of Vernon, were ejected. Ronald Judge was transported to Upstate Medical University in Syracuse for treatment. Billy Judge was transported to Wynn Hospital. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. A serious accident closed a portion of Route 26 in Vernon Center Sunday. The accident happened just before 4:30 in the afternoon at the intersection with Simmons Road. A helicopter was called in to transport 1 patient to the hospital. State police are investigating the incident and will provide more details as they become available. 4 people were taken into custody following a shots-fired incident on William Street in Rome Friday morning. Police believe it was a targeted event. According to Rome Police, they responded to the 500 block of William Street for a report of shots fired. During the investigation, patrol located several spent shell casings and a residence that had been damaged by gunfire. There was someone in the home, but they were not injured. 4 people of interest were identified and later taken into custody. The suspects were 1 adult female, 1 juvenile female, and 2 juvenile males. Rome Police ask anyone in the vicinity of the 500 block of William Street with home surveillance camera footage to review it, and if any footage during the time frame seems suspicious, please notify Rome Police at 315-339-7744. And the Conservation Dogs of Hawaii have trained 3 dogs to sniff out the coconut rhinoceros beetle. The invasive insects attack coconuts and other palms by breeding in decaying trunks and sucking the tree nutrients from the developing palm fronds, which causes the palm to die. Conservation Dogs says the 3 dogs of Kauai team found over 300 coconut rhinoceros beetles from April to June by detecting breeding sites. We may need a dog like that to sniff out, the ash borer beetle that we have
Or the
here.
stink bug.
Or the stink bug. Well,
Hate the stink
I don't
bugs.
think we need the dogs to sniff those.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I got attacked yesterday by a horsefly.
Really?
This was
I didn't
one
know
of
they
the
were that
larger.
aggressive.
A horsefly. I finally had to look it up. So a horsefly will attack you, especially the female.
Yeah.
Will attack you, and why are they attacking you? They will keep biting you, and they bite you until they get their fill of your blood.
Oh, my gosh.
Very much like a very large and attacking mosquito, a horsefly just keeps going at you.
So those big ones that...
They're big, yeah.
I didn't realize that
Yeah.
they bite like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. They'll kill you.
The near fatal horsefly.
Beware.
Oh,
The
my
forecast, and they really come out in weather like this.
Yes, they do. It's going to be a hot one today. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. For today, expect sunny skies with a high in the low 90s. It'll be partly cloudy overnight with a low in the upper 60s. Chance of rain and thunderstorms overnight, or tomorrow rather. Otherwise, partly sunny and hot with a high in the low 90s. The heat index will make it feel about 95 or higher. Right now, 70 under sunny skies at 8:10. Sports brought to you by IBEW Nika 43. Local contractors. The Mets took the lead in their 4-game series against the Pirates after earning a 3-2 come-from-behind victory at PNC Park. Edwin Diaz was credited with his third win of the season after striking out one batter over an inning and a third of scoreless relief. New York is now third in the NL East at 44-44. They'll look to close out the 4-game set this afternoon. The Red Sox shut out the Yankees 3-0 to capture their rubber match in the Bronx. Luis Gil was charged with the loss after allowing just one run on 4 hits over 6 2/3 innings pitched. He pitched a great game up until he gave up that home run. The Bronx Bombers managed to combine just 4 hits as a team after scoring 14 the day before. New York has now dropped to second in the AL East at 55-37. They'll visit the Tampa Bay Rays for a 3-game series that begins tomorrow night at Tropicana Field. Then they have to play the Orioles at the end of the week. Not looking good. The All-Star Game will be next week, and the pitchers have been announced. The pitchers for this month's MLB All-Star Game include American League pitchers Angels starter Tyler Anderson, Orioles starter Corbin Burns, and the National League pitchers feature Dodgers starter Tyler Glasnow, Cardinals reliever Ryan Helsley, and Phillies reliever Jeff Hoffman. The All-Star Game is July 16th in Arlington, Texas. Other news here, Davis Thompson earning his first career tour victory after winning the 2024 John Deere Classic at TPC Deere Run. Thompson finished atop the leaderboard with a 28 under par for the tournament. He is the 24th player to make the John Deere Classic, his first tour win. And it was an intriguing Sunday at Wimbledon as the women's singles matchup saw 19th-seeded American Emma Navarro upset second-seeded American
I was
Coco
very
Gauff.
surprised by this.
Yeah, very surprised. The victory happened in straight sets to move on to the quarterfinals. In the men's bracket of
Coco is
things-
like, I'm shocked, Davey, that she lost.
Yeah, I usually don't watch tennis, but I watched this yesterday. She kept on looking up to her box at her coaches, and she wanted some type of signs from them, but she was getting distracted.
What was that? Oh, she was distracted.
Yeah, Brad Gilbert is one of her coaches.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she kept on, after the point, she kept on saying, "What do you want me to do?" And he was yelling instructions to her. She was just right off. She was off her game.
Yeah, well, everybody has an off day. In the men's singles.
Or you have a day like Joe Biden had during the debate.
Yeah, that's something you don't really come back from.
I wouldn't call that an off
I think
day.
she'll bounce back.
Yeah, she probably will.
1 seed Janik Sinner moved past 14th seeded American Ben Shelton in straight sets to advance to the quarterfinals. 3 seeded Carlos Alcaraz and 12 seeded American Tommy Paul also moved on. So the Wimbledon tournament continues this week.
Okay.
If you're dealing with any pain of
And the
any
Boilermaker
kind,
is this week as
Yes.
well. A lot of events happening all week long. So
Yeah,
get ready
for
that.
that. Sunday, if you're dealing with some pain ahead of the race or after the race, you should book your appointment with Dr. Tim Delmedico at Revive Softwave Therapy. This treatment is an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and all joint issues. It's actually a half marathon that prompted me to go and see Dr. Tim and his team. And if you're a listener of the Keeler Show, mention that to them. You'll get a significant discount on your initial consultation with one of their doctors and your first Softwave therapy treatment. And they'll put you on a treatment recovery plan and assessment that is right for you. You can go to their website, reviveutica.com, to find out more information about the technology that was developed in Germany. It sends high-speed sound waves to the impacted area, promoting natural blood flow and your body's natural stem cells to promote natural healing. You can book an appointment online, check out videos of testimonials from people like Rob Esch, who's a patient of Revive Softwave Therapy. And you can see that the Lakers, the Guardians, the Steelers, the Nets, the Giants, the Cubs, and even Team USA using this technology to prepare for the Olympics. If you're dealing with pain and you're sick of the pain injections or pain pills, give this a try. Call them at 315-725-8427, 315-725-8427, or go to reviveutica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy, Genesee Street in Utica.
Okay, I want to tell you, if you had a chance to see Sold in upstate New York over the weekend.
Great episode.
A great episode.
Tribute to America.
And a tribute to the country, no doubt, but also it shows off that DeWalt sprayer that is made
awesome.
at the Fountainhead Group, which I saw in one of the big box stores over this last week. They're out there. They're sold around the world, and it all comes from here. Pretty cool. Sold in upstate New York is a TV show. It's about real estate, home improvement, and then some. And you can find it on YouTube. Search for Sold in upstate New York, or watch it on TV, WPNY, on Saturdays at 2 p.m. and Sundays on Fox at 8 a.m. and 11 p.m. River Hills Properties, the #1 independent real estate agency in the area, which they just do more. And if you sell your home through River Hills, you might actually end up being featured on Sold in upstate New York. Why wouldn't you sell your home using River Hills Properties? Call today or go online, riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Coming up, I thought this whole alleyway thing would be gone by the time I got back.
No.
It seems to be bigger than ever.
And there are more issues. Councilwoman Katie Aiello has now made it a point to take to her Instagram and make videos about people on a regular basis. We've been included in some of these videos, but one of her favorite targets, somebody that will come on the show, Samantha Colosso. All
right, we'll speak with Sam coming up next at WIBX.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to Tom Cavallo's Restaurant this Thursday morning starting at 8 a.m. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. Tom Cavallo's Restaurant in New Hartford, known for their great daily specials, wings and great happy hours, trivia nights on Thursday, and legendary fish fries on Fridays. Online at Cavallos.com. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates this Thursday from Tom Cavallo's Restaurant. Hurry, they sell out fast at SeizeTheDeal.com.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and now in Clinton. Summer is here, which means it's time to really buckle down and stay committed. But I know the beach is calling. I'm here to tell you that our 30-minute workouts are quick and effective, so you can still have time to enjoy the sun and the barbecues with family and friends. Try us out for free. Start living your best life with me and my amazing team at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and in Clinton.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for the past 52 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedsantique.com.
There's an issue cutting through the bipartisan bickering in Congress. It's AM radio. The overwhelming majority of legislators, Democrats and Republicans, support a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Let's face it, life can just get messy. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will take care of it for you. If you need help with clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts will handle it. We understand sometimes it's more than just a cleanout, it's an accumulation of someone's life. We go the extra mile to do the job with integrity, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, Andrew Dominio, you have some comments over there.
Yes.
What gives?
One of them I might have to write down in the calendar here. Lance and Lee. Not critical of me. Actually complimentary, and I appreciate that, Lance. He says, glad to see your return, Bill. Andrew surprisingly spoke for a lot of people last week with his analysis of the press conference held at City Hall. I give Chief Williams 2 months until he retires if that's how Galimi's administration handles things. Keep up the good work, Andrew.
I do have to say that I had a chance to watch some of that online. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, it was rough.
Kevin in Forestport here this morning.
Sometimes you got to reach out to people who. Sometimes you just got to let everybody do their job.
Let the experts do their job.
I mean, if you're a police chief, let the police chief do his job.
Yes,
and
the public information officer.
Yeah,
who's also an active lieutenant in the force.
And if there's not a calling for a public safety commissioner, there should be right now after this.
Well, I think based on our conversations
and done.
There was some interviews that happened, and I don't know if that's stalled now. And I think they got to find a way to get it in the budget, make it happen.
No doubt.
Regardless. Kevin in Forestport, monthly rent range for the Oblon apartments. I believe they spoke
9 to 12, something like that.
9 to 1,100.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely lower rents as far as that's concerned. And Wayne saying this morning of the Oblon, did they get all of the bugs and pests?
They did.
The bugs and rats, or will they keep coming back like the eggs? No, they said to us they made sure that it was properly fumigated.
Yeah, wow. Okay, let's bring in Samantha Colosso Testa. Sam, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you today?
Good.
There's a lot of pests. Speaking of pests, there's a lot of pests in Samantha's life right now.
Well, I did want to go somewhere. We'll get to that. By the way, I do have Mike this morning who said, one of my sons just proposed to his long-term girlfriend. Who do I need to see to apply for a permit to use the alleyway for the wedding ceremony? Is it Katie?
Yeah, I think she can help you with that. Yeah.
Could you imagine? Okay, but before we get to that, and obviously I was away for the tragedy that occurred in Utica. Do you agree as a council person? And I know you're supportive of Mayor Galimi. I think he's done a really good job up to this point. However, I do think that you got to let the experts do their job. I do not think that press conference was handled very well at all.
No, the press conference was horrible. I think that anybody that watched it would agree with that. I mean, including Galimi at that point.
Yeah.
It should have been more of a news conference for the media outlets to disseminate information. And I know that he was trying to be transparent, and it probably just wasn't the time to do that.
Yeah, I think that here's what I think is he's going to have to get to, and you of all people can get him there. And that is, you cannot, as much as you want to, and you can be the mayor of all the people. You should be the mayor of all the people. But you can never make everyone happy on Facebook. That's an area where he's got to work on trying to please everybody. It's never going to happen. And the other part is this transparency thing and following the process. I feel like the process should be let the experts who do this do it. The chief should have really been the lead on that. And
I agree. Honestly, even Lieutenant Curley probably should have handled that.
Curley does a great job. He does.
Disseminating information, and that would have probably been my go-to and taking the charge. It wasn't the first time. Obviously, this situation was a little more sensitive, but they have, been involved. There's been an officer involved shooting prior to this, and they were able to handle that through the department, and it probably should have been left that way.
And the other part of this is you have a grieving family.
And you basically said, you broadcast that the press conference was going to be at City Hall.
You have
publicly.
a grieving family.
Yeah.
There is.
I think everybody, honestly, I think the whole community is grieving, from
no
the
doubt about it.
To the family. And I think,
no doubt about
it was a very sensitive situation. And like I said, I think that at the time, they were trying to, and again, it's his first press conference, and, there's always room to learn. And I think that he learned from that point. And it was mentioned to him. Actually, I sent him a message on Thursday. And the incident happened on Friday. And Thursday, I'd asked him, what's going on with the public safety commissioner?
Yeah.
We haven't heard from one. And, he said he's in his second round of interviews. And I understand that that's an important part that you want to take on. But I think that having a public safety commissioner at that point in time probably would have been able to handle that situation a little better and be able to delegate who they thought was fit in order to hold the press conference.
Well, and I think that where I was kind of going with this is you have a grieving family. This is not the time to talk sense into a grieving. You just can't. I mean, they're devastated. The best, I think, the best bet for something like that is you meet privately with the family to assure them that an investigation is being done. But at the same time, you have police officers who are now have to be emotionally distraught at this time. So there's a lot to this, and doing it all out in the open for transparency is not always the right answer.
And I know that he met with the family. They have met with the family privately and stuff like that. But again, watching the press conference, I had to turn it off myself.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was very hard to watch, and
I hope no one sees this. I hope this doesn't end up on TMZ. Because it just would make us look really, really bad.
Well,
anyway.
one of the biggest criticisms of Paul Mary was this almost law enforcement-like desire to be involved in that part of it, and you don't want to kind of emulate that behavior,
With all of that,
he used to show up to crime scenes. There was
I heard a story once where
all the stories
they had to stop him from showing up.
Paul Mary. No.
I wouldn't bring that up unless I knew it was true. Okay, so with all of that said, now let's switch gears to this Katie Aiello stuff, and she's out. For someone who wants things to be done fairly, who wants to be treated properly, who feels that she's been attacked and slandered, Boy, the MO for her seems to be doing just that.
Attack and slander.
That's exactly what's going on right now. If someone doesn't agree with her, this is all part of politics, isn't it? It's all part of government. It's all part of the process. Some people might not agree with what you're doing, and the answer is to go and attack them personally.
Yeah, I find her behavior very odd. I do. It's getting to the point where it's like that you're videoing yourself and putting videos out there and showing emails, and like, what is the point? What is her point? That's, I guess, the question. What are you trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
Because guess what? I mean, I've been on the council, 10 years plus, and we've actually had meetings and sat down and talked with one another and didn't make videos about people that we didn't agree with. And I just, again, I don't know what the point of her last video was. Somebody had sent it to me, and I'm watching it. It was very, very difficult to follow and very difficult to understand because I'm not quite sure of what point she was trying to
It's attacking you?
Yeah, I really didn't even finish watching it because I was kind of annoyed because I really didn't get the point of her video.
So there was a big
I really don't.
So I think that there's a big long. I'm not going to obviously play any of the audio from the interview, but the description of the video is something along the lines. I've been deciding whether or not to post this for weeks now. I can't even read it the way this stupid thing is set up. But basically, there's a whole long, diatribe that she types up with regard to what the video is saying. She gets into, talking about the policing and referendum on youth behavior and criticizing you and things like that. I think that there's some celebrity desire that she has for doing these videos, that she's using her position as a council person to try to get some social media cred or notoriety. It's almost like that's the motivation.
I would have to agree at this point in time because it just, again, it doesn't make sense. I mean, she shared an email, and the reason that she was annoyed by the email that I sent was because our financial disclosure forms are due May 15th, and she's the only council person that hasn't handed it in yet. So I replied to the email like, hey, listen, you're worried about all, whatever you're worried about, you should maybe finish your financial disclosure report. I don't understand how it's that difficult to understand, where she was trying to go in her email. And that's obviously why she got annoyed. And again, she makes videos when she doesn't agree with people and gets mad and defensive. And it's like, hey, listen, just fill out your financial disclosure report. It's really not that hard.
Well, the only thing I would say is there are some things worth defending. This alleyway is not one of them. I just don't. I mean, of all the things, I
really
would
bad.
bail.
It's really bad.
Time to punt. Sometimes you realize you got to punt.
You got to know when to hold them and fold them.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. There's garbage and crap
It's
all
a
over
mess
the ground.
now,
Natural crap on the ground, and you really can't even pressure wash it because it's glass. I mean, there's some serious problems that I think that the alleyway is probably going to have to get taken out the way it stands now.
Well, the problem, pressure washing might help. Pressure washing probably would, but it'll also take up. That stuff is so poorly put down. Whatever you may be able to pressure wash and go back to the original concrete.
Yeah, right. To get back to the
what
to
a
the
mess.
original
But
round.
the problem you have is because it's almost it's like sharp and gritty. It's catching everything that blows across there, and it's almost like a catch-all for litter. But just beyond that, it's poorly done. It looks terrible. Doesn't match the area. At some point, you got to punt. But for some reason, we're going personal on everybody here. And, oh, by the way, Radio Silent not willing to come on. And I got to say, we would have her on a regular basis here even during Complete Streets, when that was a bit of a debacle. But she would speak this. For some reason, she's taken very, very personally. And as a result, she's attacking personally.
Well, she made a video of Mark Williamson, accusing him of nepotism on the council because his daughter lived near the island in South Utica. And it's she's accusing him of this, that, and the third. And it's but you didn't have a problem with the island going in without anybody knowing? You weren't worried about that transparent component because Celeste is your friend and things like that. That's the problem that I have with all this. It's you're getting mad at the people because they're reacting to the situation, but yet you weren't worried about any of the stuff that happened prior to this.
Yeah.
With complete streets happening overnight, with the island being put in without people knowing, with $500,000 being spent on the Franklin Square alley in a scenic and historic district that didn't go through the scenic and historic component. I mean, those are the problems that I have, and it's like she's trying to paint this picture like, oh, it's their fault, when it's like, no, like, we didn't. This didn't happen overnight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? These things that were in the works, and that should be your biggest concern. And I'm sure that after this radio interview, there will be another TikTok video of me. So, I mean, again, it's getting to the point where the behavior is really odd. And I mean, if you had people that you worked with making videos of you constantly, I mean, it just gets to the point where the behavior is it's strange. Right. It really is.
And then finally, I wanted you to just make a little comment on this year's, I'm sorry, I'm unable to come up with words. So Grand Marshal is what I'm looking for.
Yes.
This year's Grand Marshal at the 4th of July parade.
Wow, they had a great pick.
They did, and he was like mad at me, but I was in Atlanta for a wedding, so I actually missed the 4th of July parade this year. But congratulations to my father-in-law. My kids were there; they were able to walk with him in the parade, and I think my son ran the entire length of the parade. He didn't just walk;
Wow.
he was just
Nice.
running, throwing candy all over the place. So,
That's awesome.
Beautiful. Well, Mello Testa,
Mello Testa Senior.
we're talking about,
Yes.
and I thought he looked very, very 4th of July, very patriotic, and
that's Mello to a T.
This is coming from one former Grand Marshal to another. I was a Grand Marshal once. For the 4th of July
I could have
parade.
been the Grand Marshal.
Well,
heavy is the crown, Samantha.
right now,
I'm always kidding.
You're a little too hot right now with all these TikTok videos. So,
he deserved it. He's been involved in the community a long time, and I know he was honored to take down that role in the parade. So, again, congratulations.
Yes, no doubt about it. All right, Samantha, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, and enjoy your summer.
Yes, I'm going to enjoy it.
Summertime. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right. Thanks
bye-bye.
for coming on as always.
And I give her a great deal of credit because
we're not always easy on her.
We're not, and she's being quite critical of the press conference, and there needs to be a public safety commissioner.
Yep.
This event, as horrific as it was, is living proof as to why this needs to be done, and done soon, I would think. Got a break. We'll come back at WIBX.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
We no longer live nearby. We were afraid we were going to have to give up having our accounts with AmeriQ. But AmeriQ works with us wherever we go, making sure we can access our accounts, that they are secure, and that all our banking needs are met.
Create your meaningful connection through AmeriQ's Virtual Financial Center. Connect with the live representative at ameriq.org/virtualfc today. Membership eligibility is required, insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender.
The 4th of July sale is on at Mattress Express, and wow, is it big this year. Take up to 60 months to pay on anything in the store. Massage chairs, mattresses, you name it, no money down. That's right, 60 months to pay, no money down for qualified buyers. See store for details. How about these deals? Puffy, the big online brand, save up to $1,350 on select sets. Purple, the largest selection of Purple in New York State, save up to $800 on select sets. Come in, try the Purple. We pull up the website, give you the same price as online. Tempur-Pedic, you've always dreamed of a Tempur-Pedic. Save up to $500 on select sets. No money down, up to 60 months to pay. Stearns & Foster, save up to $400 on select sets. Sealy, get a $100 prepaid Visa card on Sealy sets. Go to mattressexpressny.com for locations, and remember our low price brand name guarantee when you come in. We'll see you soon for the 4th of July sale.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles?
Comment tu t'appelles?
Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
when you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at babbel.com. Just go to babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
Get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with SeizeTheDeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to Tom Cavallo's restaurant this Thursday morning starting at 8 a.m. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. Tom Cavallo's restaurant in New Hartford, known for their great daily specials, wings and great happy hours, trivia nights on Thursday, and legendary fish fries on Fridays. Online at Cavallos.com. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates this Thursday from Tom Cavallo's restaurant. Hurry, they sell out fast at SeizeTheDeal.com.
If you're looking for flooring, boy, do I have the perfect place for you. This is Bill Keeler, and I highly recommend in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, the area's leading flooring store. They have the absolute largest inventory in Central New York, and it's a brand new store at the Route 49 Plaza in Marcy. And if you're looking for Pergo Extreme, they have a price guarantee anywhere in the area within a 60-mile radius of their store. It's a pretty awesome deal, and you know you're going to get the best deal at Insera's. Log on to their website at InserasFlooringOutlet.com and sign up to save $50 off your next purchase of $500 or more. You can shop online or in the store. You will not find a better selection than Insera's Flooring Outlet. See why more people buy from the big store. Its selection, its price, and it's a 6-month interest-free financing. Log on to the website, InserasFlooringOutlet.com, and see for yourself or visit their store. Insera's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road in Marcy.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, and I should say portions of the program brought to you by New York Sash. And New York Sash says, let our family take care of your family as they go above and beyond with windows, siding, baths, and doors. My wife said this because we just had 4 new New York Sash windows put in, double hung windows and triple glazed. And what she noticed is the effectiveness of the air conditioning. That's
now that the windows are in?
Now that the windows are in, how much cooler and easier it is to cool in the heat. And we've had some really hot weather.
Yes, indeed.
And coming from her saying, I'm telling you, it's the New York Sash windows. That's what makes the difference. And it'll help you in the wintertime as well, keeping that heat in the wintertime. So whether you're looking for windows, siding, baths, or doors, they have you covered. New York Sash, the best home improvement company in the Mohawk Valley, best of the best, year after year, with a 4.9-star rating on Google. It's New York Sash. Online, NewYorkSash.com.
So a couple comments here.
All right, then Sheriff Mitchell.
Lance and Lee, Galimi seems to be a huge micromanager. That's Lance's latest comment. Doug in Utica took a stroll through that alley last week. Yuck. Food smashed into the ground. Going to have to be power washed out. Also, I would never allow a child to play on that broken glass ground. Doesn't feel like Utica. Anyone who says it's safe, lie. Dick in Deerfield, Utica has so many alleys. If you feel the need to continue covering the Franklin Square alley, could you maybe interview the firm that did the work so they could explain the whole surface issue? I will work on it.
And maybe they have to put a polyurethane over it or something. I don't know. All I know is forget all of that. It's still ugly. It's terrible. I'm going to tell you. I spent almost a week in Buffalo in this off and on and then back and forth. And we did a lot of time just kind of walking in downtime. Buffalo is very much like a Utica, but bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a city that has come back, very much like Utica is coming back. And they have this big mural campaign going where there are murals being painted around the city, and they're done by people from Buffalo. And these are awesome artists, which we have in Utica. And there's one that's a big, it's somewhat controversial, and it is Keep Buffalo a Secret. And I'm not sure. I know where they're probably going is that it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, right?
Right, yeah.
The fact that Buffalo has improved so much over the years, it's still the best little kept secret out there, but maybe we should keep it a secret.
Yeah. We want to stop people
meaning
from
that what they really want is they want to spread the word that Buffalo has improved. So a little reverse
psychology. Thank you.
Anyway, but they have a lot of those, and it looks so nice in the city. I searched long and hard.
You didn't see any chroma key alleys in Buffalo?
It's like chroma key alley. You're right. I didn't see. The only alley I could find that was worth looking at was my wife. Whose name
Very
is,
good.
Yeah. Anyway,
Wayne agreeing
nothing
this morning.
like that there. They keep saying, this is just like the one in New York City. I've seen nothing like that there either.
No.
Sometimes you just got to cut your losses and say, we tried, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
A couple more quickly.
And then really quickly, Wayne says, epoxy over it, and it's still ugly. He agrees.
That is where I'm at.
Nonetheless, the way it's placed, even if you were to epoxy it, there are different levels that are uneven. So, like, there's parts where water kind of sits and is faded away and kind of gotten a dark spot on
awful,
where it is.
And it's getting worse.
Bad.
The way that it is aging so quickly makes you wonder what will it look like after the winter. Let's change gears here. I want to go to something we witnessed, my wife and I.
This is frustrating.
I was really close to chasing down the car and getting the license plate number. But I know Sheriff Mashel would have said that's a bad idea. The alarming number of school buses that are being passed by vehicles, and there still are buses running for summer school, etc., during the summer months. But this year, we saw a very large number. Sheriff Rob Mashel on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's an alarming number. And the reason that we got involved in this program initially, on average in 2019, we learned throughout New York State that 50,000 school buses are passed in one day. 50,000 a day. I mean, it seems like a significant number, but it's legit. But so there was, to make a long story short, in 2019 there was a law change in New York which allowed communities, if they passed a local law, which Oneida County quickly did under the county executive's leadership, which allowed us to cite not the person driving the car, but to cite the registered owner. So if we could just capture the plate and prove that it was that plate that passed the bus, then we could issue a citation. It's a civil penalty going to the registered owner. It's almost identical to like the speed cameras they have in construction zones on the thruway.
Mm-hmm.
Same concept.
Yeah.
So we reached out to all the school districts, and initially 8 school districts signed up on board. The remaining ones now want to be part of it. We're just going through the current negotiation with the vendor. But so out of all the districts in the county, we have 8 districts on board with this program. We have 191 cameras out on school buses spread throughout the school districts that are participating in the program. And shockingly, we issued summonses to 852 people in this last school year for passing stop school buses in Oneida County throughout those participating districts. And it's so basically what happens when the red light or the yellow lights come on, the camera gets activated. When the stop arm comes on, obviously that's all captured on video because it's the camera on the outside of the bus. the vehicle passing the bus. The camera takes a photo. That is then sent to our office. We're hooked right into DMV, so it immediately runs the plate number. So when we see it, we know who the registered owner is.
Okay.
And once it's witnessed by a member of our office, because in order to issue a citation in New York, it's got to be witnessed by a police officer. So they're witnessing it in the form of an email after it's happened. And once the police officer or deputy sheriff, in our case, at our office, signs off on it, a summons is mailed to the person, the registered owner. They certainly have the opportunity to plead not guilty, because that's obviously the way our system works. But also on the citation is a link, and you go to that link and you can actually watch yourself pass the stop school bus. And that's why we still have probably 8 to 10% of the people will plead not guilty, and then a hearing is held in that court of jurisdiction where the pass occurred.
Okay.
But 90% of the people, once they see themselves passing the stop school bus, they pay the fine. It's $250 fine, first offense.
Wow.
And then it works its way up to $1,000 in a 3-year period if you continue to pass. We don't. It's rare that we get. I don't even think we've had a repeat offender.
Do you find that you get sometimes? Are you able to see the person in the car? And are you sometimes getting maybe a parent let their kids drive the vehicle and the kid is the one passing the bus?
We don't get to see the person in the vehicle. We get a capture of the vehicle itself.
The
vast majority of the body of the vehicle with the plate number. And obviously the system reads the plate and then runs the data. But obviously the biggest concern, the biggest reason, which is even more of a concern for us, most of the time it's distracted driviving. They're just doing something else. They're not paying attention. Some of them are very scary. I mean, some of these videos that we're witnessing are extremely scary that this is happening. But it's kind of all over the place, because most people would think it's population driven, but some of your small school districts have a significant amount of cars passing their stop school buses. I mean, Little New York Mills, they have 600 kids in their district. We were 3 short of issuing 100 tickets in the New York school district alone.
Wow.
It's one of the more frustrating things to witness, as Bill was saying. He witnessed it. When you see it, you just do have this sense of anger. I don't even have kids, and I think to myself, there was the video just a few years back in a local school district around here where a bus driver literally pulled a kid into the bus who was about to step out in front of somebody who passed on the right side on the shoulder and almost killed a kid. It's frustrating.
That's very scary. Right side passing, in many cases, when that happens, it's a fatal outcome, because, again, the child doesn't even know that car's coming on the right side.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate. But like I said, 852 people in Oneida County in this school year alone, and we're anticipating, if we hopefully get the remaining districts online by next school year, by this fall, we'll see that number obviously increase, because it's not slowing down. It's a steady, depending on what district we're talking about, there's an average number of passes each day in that specific district.
So we witnessed one on Clinton Road. It was either Clinton School District or New Hartford. Are they both participants?
New Hartford is.
Okay.
So if it was in the New Hartford School District, we issued 178 citations in New Hartford.
Wow.
Whitesboro led the way because a couple of reasons. It's a huge district as far as area-wise, and they have more cameras on their buses than the other districts. But 282 citations were issued in Whitesboro, 97 in Westmoreland, 33 in Waterville, 34 in Sequoia. City of Rome, which is the outer district only, because that's what we cover, 77. New York Mills, like I said, 97. New Hartford, 178. And Holland Patton, 54.
Wow. Now, Samantha Colosso Testa messaging in this morning, can you ask why Utica is not involved? She proposed legislation but had pushback. Are you pushing and trying to encourage the city of Utica to join the program?
Well, it's the way the New York State Vehicle and Traffic Law is written, and this was a law that was passed in 2019. It's all driven by population, but because of the setup of the Utica City School District, this would require separate local law passage by the City of Utica Common Council. Oneida County was able to pass this in its entirety countywide, with the exception of the City of Utica, because of the way the law is written. And again, it's something to do with the size of the city or something. I can't remember exactly, but it requires the City of Utica they would have to do it separately through their common council.
Right.
And I'm sure if their county attorney or their city attorney reaches out to the county attorney's office, they'd give them the boilerplate. It's a simple process.
Yeah, well, I know she's saying she pushed the legislation, but I guess other members need to get on board.
Mike says, I can't imagine what the numbers would be like in Utica if Utica were included, because it happens all the time.
I think stricter punishment has to happen, to dissuade, because the numbers aren't going down since this program was implemented.
No, they're not. And the reason this law helped us, the traditional passing a stop school bus under the old law, or it's still current law, it still exists. If we witnessed it and we know who's driving the car, that's under Section 1174 of the traffic law. That carries 5 points on your driver's license with a huge fine. But that's very hard for us unless we're following a bus and see it, so we're able to catch the person. But in order for us to do it after the fact, the bus driver has to get the plate number. They have to look at the driver. We have to prove who's driving that vehicle, which is obviously very difficult.
Yep. All right. Interesting stuff. And the numbers are high. What will it take? Will it take a fatality, a high publicized fatality locally to get people to wake up? And Sheriff, as you said, a lot of this is not, I'm late for work, I have to pass the bus. A lot of it is just distracted driving.
Not paying attention.
Yeah.
Awful.
Cell phone usage, texting, driving, doing things in the car with, whether it's, getting your kids to calm down or trying to, dig through your purse or briefcase while it's significant number is due to driver distraction.
Yeah. All right, Sheriff, we appreciate it as always. Thank you so much.
Sounds great, guys. Have a good day.
Oh, and really quick,
Yes, sir.
Lance and Lee, where does all the fine money go?
Sure. The fine money, when this went out, there's 2 vendors in the Northeast that provide this service. So the county put out a RFP to see, and this one kind of works in reverse. So whoever gave the county more profit is the vendor that actually gets the bid. There was 2 vendors. I can't think of the other one, but the one that got the higher bid is Vera Mobility. So 60% of the fine money goes to Oneida County, the county government general fund. 40% goes to the vendor, and that 40% covers the cost of the equipment, which is, I'm glad you brought that up. It's a great question. So the 40% that the vendor gets, obviously their profit is in there, but also the cost of the equipment is in there because this program costs $0 for the school district. So there's no upfront cost to buy cameras or software, anything like that. The money, the 40% of the fine money, like I said, goes to cover the vendor's profit and to pay for the equipment, the installation, and maintenance of equipment on the buses.
Well, listen, parents and grandparents should put pressure on the Common Council to get the law passed so that Utica School District could be a part of it, and because there's just no excuse for passing a school bus. There just is no excuse.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not sure what the pushback would be. I really don't know. I don't know what the pushback would be.
All right. Okay, Sheriff, thank you as always.
Sounds good. Have a great day, guys.
You do the same,
too.
Sheriff Rob Mashel. And I want to tell you, with summer here and the heat, like we have a chance of hitting 90 today and tomorrow.
Yes.
Another hot day coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We're hitting 90 more often than I ever remember hitting 90. There'll be years where we don't even hit 90 degrees. And we have certainly...
Bring it on.
We have certainly hit a number of them, and today and tomorrow will be hot. Now, you want to keep the heat in. We were talking about this with New York Sash, and in the winter, keep the heat in and the cool out, the cold, frigid air out. But in the summertime, you want to keep that cool air in, and insulation and proper cooling can really end up saving you a lot of money. And right now, you can get the free home energy assessment at Fred F. Collis & Sons Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. They do a tremendous job. You know Collis is that team that comes in. It's a team of people that do a tremendous job, whether it's heating, whether it's cooling, or it's your insulation. They have you covered. But this home energy assessment is absolutely free, and all you have to do is call them and have it set up. There's no obligation when it's all said and done, but they'll give you a list of ways that you can actually save money on your heating and cooling bills. Call them today, 315-860-1301, 315-860-1301. Go online for details at fredfcollis.com, located in Yorkville, Rome, and now with an office in Syracuse. Oh, I also wanted to tell you another major sponsor on the program, in Sarah's Flooring Outlet. If you're looking for flooring, why would you go somewhere else? In Sarah's is the flooring store. That's what they deal with, flooring, and the largest inventory in all of Central New York in their new Route 49 Plaza. Whatever flooring you're looking for, whether it's carpeting or vinyl or hardwoods, whatever you're looking for, they have you taken care of with 6 months interest-free financing in Sarah's Flooring Outlet, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online at sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
Spectacular 4th of July savings at My Carl's. Reclining sofas from $4.99. Bedrooms from $5.99. Queen mattresses as low as $1.99. Only at My Carl's in the New Hartford Shopping Center.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. With Ramp, you get full visibility into your company's spending and control who spends what with each vendor. Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts instantly to save your team valuable time. Ramp automates data entry and routine tasks with automated approvals, expense categorization and bill payments, time-consuming tasks. Which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. Get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. RAMP.com/free.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in Central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation